The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is a glorious Monday, March 7th, 2022, and this sports show shall begin right now. Yeah! Can't thank you enough for joining us. It was a beautiful weekend. I hope you had the same. Today is a day where we talk about sports, and there's a lot to chatter about. Is any of it real? We have no idea, but there's a lot of fugazi bullshit floating out there. We have Aaron Rodgers skeptics saying that maybe his 4 teams are tearing him apart, I guess. Is he going back to the Packers? Who knows? Did we all think he maybe would have gave his answer by now? Yes, but allegedly Denver, Tennessee, and Pittsburgh are still in the running, and they all have deals in place for Aaron if he was to make it. Now, Green Bay Packers have come out and continuously said, we have not heard a single offer yet. So I guess Denver, Tennessee, and Pittsburgh in-house have crafted together their own picks maybe, or their own trade on what they would do to get Aaron Rodgers. We will talk to A.J. Hawk in 1 hour from now. He was at the wedding this weekend that this dude was officiating. Now, the interesting thing about him officiating that wedding this weekend is, he's got the long hair right now. He had a suit on. At one point, before the groomsmen got up there, and before, obviously, the bride and their crew came, he was standing up in front of a congregation, looking away. That had to look like David fucking Koresh. Yeah. Had to look like the Davidians out there. I hope there's photos that'll continue to be released. I guess there was an all-star cast out there to celebrate Bakhtiar getting married. Congrats to Bakhtiar. Congrats. But we had boots on the ground with a big old jaw who was able to listen, hopefully, to what everything was going on. What did he hear and what is happening? Once again, the internet has reported that Aaron will make his decision by tomorrow. And that might be because the franchise tag window ends tomorrow at 4 p.m. So who and where will Aaron Rodgers end up at is a fascinating question. I'm riding alongside everybody else. Got a lot of tweets telling me that he's coming on this show to tell everybody tomorrow. Once again, just like last week, that I don't believe that is the case. Shit. I have not been told a single thing. Cannot wait to hear how that whole thing goes. There's people on TV that we've never seen before saying that Aaron Rodgers is incredibly selfish for thinking like this and doing this. And maybe that's because you don't have anything to talk about, but also because we did assume this was going to be wrapped up a lot sooner than it currently has. This is a massive decision for Aaron Rodgers, a man who I've not talked to since last time you've seen him on here when we learned that he was pooping and puking at the same damn time for about 12 days. That's big time conversation. Another big conversation. Lamar Jackson is still without a long-term deal with the Baltimore Ravens. He was on the shop. He talked about wanting to become a champion and being a billionaire. How he handles his business going forward is going to be fascinating because everybody knows he and his mom represent him. It's not an agent. It is him making this decision. It would be him going to the Baltimore Ravens and saying, hey, this is what I want. This is how it wants to go. I'm excited to watch along. Everybody assumes that they'll franchise tag him 2 times, so he's like 3 years away from becoming a free agent. That's a lot of football left to be played. Excited to see how he maps that entire thing up. Big news for us and for the world. Kirk Herbstreit, Thursday Night Football on Amazon.
Hey, congrats, Herbie.
That's awesome. It is being reported that is the case. I may or may not have texted the source directly a few days ago before everything else came out. I believe it is happening, so congratulations to Herbie. And welcome to the Men's League, pal. Yeah. It is great to have you in the NFL. He is obviously an absolute monster at what he does. Flawless, smooth, very calm, calculated. Been there, done that with every type of game through his years at ESPN and the biggest college football games every single Saturday night. National champions. He's called Monday Monday Night Football games. He's called Sunday afternoon games for the NFL. This dude is a wizard at color commentary. And I think the Amazon folks, although they might have missed on Troy and they might have missed on some others, they found a home run with Kirk Herbstreit, who the internet is reporting will still be doing College Game Day and still be doing college football, which is what he has said since the very beginning on this show. I love college football and never give it up, but if I get a chance to do something else, I might dabble. Now it's with Amazon. Who knows how many millions this is going to be? Because allegedly they were offering Sean McVay $20 million a year. Allegedly. Now, is Sean McVay saying that just so he can get a new deal with the Rams? Possibly. But allegedly, that is how that whole thing went down. Troy Aikman just signed for 17.5 M's on Monday Night Football. Thursday Night Football with Amazon. Let's assume this dude's getting paid a lot of money. Yeah. Congrats, Herbie.
Herbie.
Herbie's always been very good to us, very nice to me, and I can't thank him enough. And I think he'll be a great asset to the NFL. And you know, if he ends up falling in love with it, go and commit full time to the men's league.
Might as well.
The boys are here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys was here. Let's start with you, Ty. We all assumed that the Packers were where Aaron Rodgers was going to remain.
Oh, right.
That sentence made sense, right?
Yeah, yes. It did.
Because Packers is plural, so you would use were, right? And where is there also a destination. We thought he would stay there. We thought this thing was wrapped up like a week and a half ago, but it turns out he is torn. Now, was he torn because he didn't want to make a decision before Bakhtiari's wedding because he knew that if he said, hey, I'm going back to the Packers, that Bakhtiari wedding would just become an Aaron Rodgers celebration back at the Packers? Or do you think there's a chance that Aaron Rodgers, for the first time in his career, is getting a sniff of maybe some other places that are interested, getting a chance to learn about some other teams, seeing if the grass is greener anywhere else, and does that worry you at all, Ty Schmidt?
To be honest, the entire time since the season ended, I didn't think there was any way he was going to go anywhere but to the Packers. But you start hearing the reports that he is torn, and I think I always thought that when he told us he would come back soon, the sooner he got it done, the better. Because he said last year, retirement doesn't really scare him anymore. He was kind of worried about that a little bit. He didn't know what life after football was
then he
like.
jumped off some waterfall.
Exactly. He was singing Taylor Swift in the kitchen.
Pancha Karma.
Pooping,
puking.
All the stuff that he's, finding out that he really enjoys. The longer he kind of waits and has to think about it, I think maybe the longer it is hey, maybe retirement isn't that bad of an option. I still think ultimately he is going to come back to the Packers. And you mentioned it. The media is always going to say whatever. They're going to spin whatever bullshit yarn. It's if anyone would know, I feel like it would be someone from this office or AJ or something like that. We've had the guy on every week. So to think that he would just all of a sudden, all these people on the outside all have a better idea of what he's actually going to do than we potentially would, I don't necessarily buy that. Not that he's going to tell us before he makes a big decision or whatever, but you read all that stuff, it's okay, well, yeah, if you aren't happy with who your quarterback is right now, then you probably are putting some sort of hypothetical trade together if he hasn't signed with the Packers yet. If you think you can get him, you're going to try to get him. But I ultimately think with the Bakhtiari stuff, too, in the wedding, I think you're right. Michael Silver already tweeted something about it, and Bakhtiari had to take time out of his day to be hey, what the fuck?
What the actual fuck, Mike?
Yeah.
Hey, what is the deal? Because Mike Silver, who I don't like, I think he's a piece of shit, but he is somebody who has done some stuff for the. I have actual personal beef with this guy, so I don't like him. He's done a lot to the game, though. He says today Packers left tackle David Bakhtiari is getting married in California. Aaron Rodgers is set to officiate it. Matt LaFleur will be there. Rodgers is likely to tell the Packers what he wants to do by Tuesday afternoon. Timing is kind of wild. Now, Tuesday afternoon would also reflect the franchise tag ending day, which Aaron Rodgers has admitted because of the Devontae Adams situation. And then Bakhtiari goes, what the fuck is my wedding day, dude? Come on. Exactly. What do we even got going on? Which I enjoy. Bakhtiari might have had a couple booze, too, before he got in there and sent that tweet. Mike Silver's been around. I don't like him, but he's been around, so he has his sources. Everybody seems to have their sources. Florio has his sources. Right. Rappaport has his sources. Silver has his sources. There's a lot of conversation. And then immediately upon those people announcing that stuff, everybody on the internet who doesn't like Aaron starts going, oh, of course, this guy wants the attention about him. He wants attention about him. It's like, it's not him reporting these. It's everybody else reporting these. And the reason why the conversations continue to happen is because there's nothing else to talk about. So if you want to bash Aaron because of this, I think you could potentially bash him for his silence, for how long it's taking. But the fact that there is potentially other teams in the running and he's torn and everything like that, that's not him. That's everybody else reporting it, not Aaron. And I don't want to be the guy who always has to come out and say, like, yo, Aaron doesn't deserve the heat that he's getting. In this particular case, I guess with how long it's taking, people could get impatient in it all. Sure. But whenever all the rumors and hearsay start kicking out there from anonymous sources, like, that's not him. That's either league sources telling other people. That's what maybe somebody within the Packers building thinks is going to happen. Who knows if any actual decision makers or people in the know are saying any of this stuff, but it has certainly gotten a lot more fascinating over the weekend.
And you can already tell they're kind of starting to lay the tracks for that narrative of that he is, a selfish prima donna asshole who just wants to get paid more because
Who is that woman in for Greenberg this morning? I've never seen her before. Let off the show with Aaron's incredibly selfish for delaying this. It's like, I don't know who you are. Okay, and Orlovsky was like, I don't think it's that selfish for this guy to make a lifetime decision, and he's taking some time to do it. And then Dominique Foxworth, who I don't know if he's normally on Aaron's side. I'm not 100% sure.
He goes back and forth.
But he was even saying, like, the player here has a little bit of leverage and say he's a 2-time MVP. And this is the first time he's ever really had the chance to think about life could be with another team. So that could take some time. And maybe Aaron didn't expect it to take this amount of time. Maybe Aaron thought after the punch of karma, he had his entire mind cleared. By the way, that lady's probably really good at what she does. But, like, who the fuck are you to say that Aaron, like, you know what I mean?
Come on.
You just expect it at this point, though. It's like, I mean, they have at least
Swagoo even hopped on. Yeah, it is selfish. Yeah. Swagoo is what? The vaccination police. That's why he started hating Aaron Rodgers in this entire thing. I love Swagoo, too. Like, I'm a big fan of his, but it is incredibly selfish. Everybody knows that he's trying to figure out what his future is. Like, because it isn't happening on their timeline, it's selfish or whatever. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand it. I would never understand it, but I'm not Aaron Rodgers. And, I mean, if you want to bury him for, signing up to drink parasites to poop and puke and something, you can do that. But also when it's like the rest of his life, the rest of his career and his legacy decision, I assume he didn't think it was going to take this long. It is taking a lot longer than thought, but just immediately labeling him a selfish individual is just like continuing to paint a narrative that I don't think is necessarily factual.
I was also thinking about it this weekend. In the grand scheme of things, like, yeah, it's probably not as quick as we would have wanted him to decide or expected him to. But remember, like last year, it was, a fucking week before training camp. It was like, what the hell's going on here? I mean, it's still only March. There is no official deadline until tomorrow at 4 p.m. So, like, I mean, maybe it was wishful thinking to think that he was just going to do it last week and it was all going to be,
I thought that's when it was going to happen.
So did I.
I think we all did.
So did I. But then as it kind of started to drag on a little bit more, it's like, okay, well, they're still negotiating. Like, I still think he's going to be a Packer. So
who is that lady that's hosting? I turned it on this morning while I was doing the Stairmaster. I turned it on. I'm like, all right, here we go. Get Up. I enjoy Get Up. They got a lot of researchers over there. But obviously somebody was telling her, like, don't you think this is selfish?
Guy's an asshole, right?
This guy's
selfish.
It's like, all right, are we really covering sports now, or are we just trying to paint narratives about people that we don't really understand? I think Aaron's obviously not a very, normal person. Like, by the way,
very polarizing.
Mount Rushmore in the history of football. Like, that's not going to be normal. But I don't know. That whole it's like, is he? I guess because he wants to think about his future for a little bit. He wants to decide where he's going. I don't understand.
Well, and think how long it takes to go on Yelp and Zillow for, 20-some odd NFL cities and see where he wants to go the most. And, like, research these cities. Got to go visit all these cities and
buy
get the
property in all of them.
And look
at raw land and
look at the rosters of all these teams. I mean, it's a lot of time.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think there's a lot that goes into it. Plus, Denver... You got great laws over there. I'd be cool to go visit them out there.
Beautiful out there.
It is very beautiful. And everybody says their team is ready to go, even though I don't. I mean, this is just like last year when everybody's like, he's going to Denver. And if he goes to Denver, they'll win a Super Bowl or whatever. I'm like, Denver? Really? And I think it's because they're in that AFC West division that kind of you rule everybody else out. It's just like the Raiders. Raiders never really get talked about. Broncos never really get talked about. Chargers never really get talked about because it's a Chiefs division. But maybe if he goes over to Broncos, Maybe Devontae Adams goes over there.
Yeah.
And if he goes anywhere with Devontae, who knows how it's going to go? What if he goes to the Titans? Even though the Titans have come out and said, Ryan Tannehill's our quarterback. There continues to be reports from around the NFL that the Titans are in on Aaron Rodgers. What does that mean? Probably nothing. We don't know.
Yeah.
People could just make things up. We learned last week from Daniel Jeremiah that some of his mock drafts in the past were actually created by his 13-year-old kid.
That's right.
So whenever we hear about reports from anonymous league sources, who is that? We have no idea.
Yeah, and like people who are saying he's selfish clearly don't think about the fact that, and you said this last week, Matt Stafford leaves, he wins a Super Bowl. Tom Brady leaves, he wins a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning leaves, he wins a Super Bowl. It's like, if he wants to take a couple weeks to figure out, like, okay, if I go to a certain few places, there's a massive chance that I could probably take that team to, the next level. Like in Tennessee, if it's him and Devontae and A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry and Julio and Mike Vrabel and Taylor Lewan, that team, I feel like, would be ready to go, which sucks for the Colts, but who cares?
It absolutely sucks for the Colts. And how come Indianapolis is not anywhere on that list?
I know.
That is-
Carl's a guy, that's why. He's a goddamn
You're right.
ball
He ain't
player.
leaving.
He ain't going anywhere.
Aaron's
Carl is looking to be returned for another year.
Yeah, most likely.
you think Aaron was like, I don't know if I could beat Wentz out. Like,
Probably.
Guessing he
Both on the
did.
roster.
well, and then after that Jim Rome interview, I don't know if he thinks because Mason like that, the confidence there. I
Mason
don't
had
know.
a rough interview with Jim Rome. I mean, that was not necessarily his finest moment, but also, I think the Steelers are in for whoever as well.
Oh, yeah.
Not as much as the Commanders.
Well,
Commanders, the Washington Commanders, there was a report last week, and it was headlined that the Commanders reached out to the Chiefs about Mahomes. The Commanders have reached out to every single team about their quarterback situation, allegedly. Now even more is coming out. They reached out to Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Ian Rappaport reported, how serious are the Commanders in their search for a QB? Sources say they made a strong offer for the Seahawks on Russell Wilson. It didn't go anywhere, but a sign Washington is ready to deal. And given what they have on their roster, they may be a QB away.
Maybe.
Got Scary Terry catching the rock, and then obviously on the defensive side of the ball, you got the young stud Chase kind of pillar over there. But Ron Rivera said, listen, I don't know how many more years I'm going to be coaching. We got a brand new name. We got a brand new ownership, right? The wife is now in charge of running things. We got a whole new building. Our stadium's still probably going to leak poop juice.
Have to.
Every
All the
once in a
time.
while and fall apart. But it'd be nice if we had a new quarterback for this brand new era we're about to enter. And they think that if they get a QB, they're going to be able to win some games. NFC East is,
Sure.
wide open.
Yeah, always is.
Wide open. You get a guy. So if they get Russell Wilson in D.C., that's a place where Russell would want to go, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
from
apparently
out
he's
there.
from right.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the reports, I guess, are that maybe, Louis DiBiase.
Lou.
What up, Lou?
I think that was my doctor's name.
Louis DiBiase.
DiBiase is definitely a name. I
Doc
know.
D.
Bias, right? Wasn't there one of those was pronounced the bias? Is that DiBiase right there?
Looks like a DiBiase to me. I don't know if he's related to the $1 Million Man or not, but
I think it is DiBiase.
Maybe it was just a $1 Million Man.
$1 million champion. Louis DiBiase. Just said on NFL Network, the offer Seattle turned down from Washington from Russell Wilson involved multiple first-round picks. Again, got to wonder if it is because Wilson and the Seahawks want to keep this thing going or because Wilson has no desire to be a commander.
Okay.
He said, we are not commanders around here. Maybe that's the case. Maybe Seattle is, Pete Carroll said, we're not shopping our quarterback. But people might be coming to the store. So if that is something that Seahawks fans are just going to have to understand is going to happen. And until it all gets settled, which I guess is next season, that's just going to be a constant conversation piece because Russell Wilson, just like Aaron Rodgers, just like Deshaun Watson, before the 22 allegations that were very, very serious and justice, whatever happens there, they all saw quarterbacks leave, get more control, be much more happy, and win. So if you're one of those guys that's up in the top elite echelon of quarterbacks in the NFL, you can't help but get a little nosy, I'd assume. See, you know what? Peyton was cut from Jim Irsay 10 years ago today.
Wow.
10 years ago today.
Anniversary.
Peyton Manning was cut from the Indianapolis Colts. And he goes over to Denver. John Elway says, hey, here's the keys to the building. I got to go run like 45 car dealerships anyways.
Right.
Good luck.
All right, so good luck out there. Boom. They win a Super Bowl. Go to another one. And Tom Brady, after getting offered a deal allegedly from the Patriots, goes down to Tampa. Hey, here's the keys. Do whatever the hell you want. Boom. Immediately. wins a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, after 12 years in Detroit of not saying a damn thing, finally says, you know what, it's time to move on. After the 7th regime change and all these losses and inevitable misery right around the corner for another season, get me out of here. And Sean McVay, while they're down at a Cabo restaurant or resort, says, why don't you come over to LA, pal? Matthew Stafford goes over there, they go all in, bang, wins a Super Bowl. It's hard, I would assume, as somebody who knows that your entire legacy is going to be judged upon how much you win, how often you win, how many rings you have, and the stats that you have, not to see what everybody else is doing and winning and not think maybe I should do that myself. It's interesting. It's only going to heat up as this continues to go. Kyler Murray wants a new deal before the draft.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Kyler Murray wants a new deal before the draft.
I don't know if that's going to.
If Joey Burrow needs to just say, I ain't playing until you guys give me $400 million.
Seriously.
If you're a good quarterback right now, the world is your oyster, and you need to dive in there.
Well, I mean, and when you look at the NFC too, if Kyler signs that long deal, he's probably one of the only young guys. That's why, back to Aaron, like that's why you should stay in the NFC, right? Like on the AFC side.
I don't think any of these quarterbacks are at the top are worried about anybody else.
Yeah.
Like everybody's talking about, he wouldn't want to go. Russell Wilson wouldn't want to go to the Broncos or wherever because he's in Patrick Mahomes' division. I don't think any of the top guys care.
Just not even thinking about it.
I don't think they care at all. I honestly don't believe that. Tom Brady just went right into Drew Brees' division.
True.
I'll go right down into here.
Noodle arm Breeze. I mean, that was a good.
Yeah, but the Saints were a buzzsaw at the time, you know.
They won the division even.
Bingo. See ya. Here we go. I'm going to go try to win that. I don't think anybody cares about that whole thing as much as we do, although if we were to map out somebody else's decisions, it'd be like much easier if they're on the NFC, I think.
Yeah.
But to win it, you're going to have to beat everybody anyway.
Well, and also I think that with like the trade stuff, that's why it's so interesting, especially when you talk about Rodgers, about how the front office basically said like, hey, we'll help facilitate a trade if you're not happy anymore. But you look at like him and Russell Wilson, like teams are offering allegedly, 3 first-round picks, a couple starters in return, and like that's still not enough to get these guys. So you wonder, is there ever even going to be an offer that any of those teams deems okay to give up these guys?
Yeah, and that was allegedly the big agreement before last season that Aaron had with the Packers was this year we'll do this, and then if you want to leave next year, we'll make it happen. Then now it's coming out like the Packers aren't going to agree to any of these trades.
Right.
It's like, well, I thought that wasn't what that's a business, I guess.
In good faith.
Joining us now, switching sports, is a man who knows everything about the association.
Oh, yeah.
Which is happening currently. 56 points is what LeBron James just dropped the other day right in front of Matthew Stafford. So he's all the way back. Are the Lakers going to make a playoff push? Oh, my God. How about the Nets? Seem like they kind of stink. Are they dead? Oh, no. And Zion Williamson walking around with the bumpus hands in the middle of a grocery store. Is he back to tell us everything happening in the NBA? Ladies and gentlemen, senior insider for the Stadium and Athletic, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the show, Shams Charania. What's up, dude?
Pat, are you ready for WrestleMania?
Hey, listen, I'm in the process, okay? I'm in the process. I've been heavy on the Stairmaster. I've been ketoing. I'm starting to see the weight already start to peel off. The arms are already starting to get a little bit more ripped up. The abs are starting to come in there. The explosion in the legs is already coming back. Just days back into this routine. I'm feeling damn good, Shams. Hey, go ahead and crack that inside information if you'd like to, pal.
See, I saw that the other day, and I was just like, yo, I got to cover this. So I can't wait to watch it, though.
Well,
so
Shams, I want to let you know. That's a bad picture of me, okay? I was like 265, 270.
You look way too nice. You look way too nice in that picture. Come on, Pat.
Well, thank you. In this particular case, I'm living a dream. Yeah. Be a WrestleMania. The guy I'm wrestling right there, Austin Theory, which I didn't know was happening until he came out and literally smacked me in the head, okay? Then he ran off like a little card. I had no idea. This dude's like 24 years old, little thirst trap, little bitch.
Jeez. Give it a breath.
I've seen little rats like this before.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, filter face. I ain't got no problem smacking you around, but I'm going to have to get back in shape. Ain't nothing to worry about. I'll be there. Hey, Shams, I'm excited for it. I'm pumped for it. Thank you for asking. There's a lot that's going to take place, though. You know what I mean? I'm going to get back in the ring.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm going to have to get back in the ring. I'm going to have to do the entire thing. Get these legs out. You know what I mean? Get in there.
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about your sport, Shams.
Let's get to it.
Hey, that picture of Zion Williamson holding the Bumpus hands while they're standing up on, that guy's wearing Jordan sweats. I don't know if that guy's with Zion or not with Zion. He's wearing a turtleneck with a chain. Is this in Portland or New Orleans? Because you reported that Zion is to return to New Orleans. They have just won 4 straight games. They're getting a playoff push. Zion's cleared for action. Are the Pelicans going to win it all with Zion back in action, Shams?
That was in New Orleans. Zion Williamson returned to New Orleans on Friday. And listen, to me, the fact that he's in New Orleans means that in his mind, he's going to be trying to get back and trying to ramp up eventually to try to play. There's about a month left in the season. You have less than 20 games left in the year. So Zion Williamson, if a return this year wasn't really in the cards, I mean, you'd probably just end up staying in Portland for the remainder of the season. But the fact that he's now come back to New Orleans and he was making the rounds all day all day Sunday. Really, I saw he went to church, some Baptist church on Sunday morning, and he was in the grocery store. He was seen all over town, having meals and just doing whatever it is he wants to do in New Orleans, which is exactly, this is exactly what New Orleans and the Pelicans have wanted. Enjoy the city and become one with the city. And so he was able to do a little bit of that on Sunday while the team was in Denver. I would expect him to start, reingratiating himself within the team this week, and try to make a comeback this year. But I know for sure the Pelicans are going to be very cautious, and I haven't gotten a sense that or a sign that he's going to be able to return this year. If anything, with just so little time left in the season, it's just going to be tough for me to see the Pelicans clearing him for basketball. But it is a positive step in the right direction for Zion Williamson to be back in New Orleans and try to at least make a comeback before the year is out.
So you said they're not going to play him?
I think that unless he makes a remarkable turnaround and really starts to – because, listen, he's been clear to gradually progress in basketball activities, which means that he's going to start ramping back up again. It'll start with non-contact work, then 1-on-0s, then progress continually 2-on-0, 3-on-0, 4-on-0, 5-on-0, and then hopefully go try to scrimmage 5-on-5. Now, will he get to that point in time before the end of the regular season? That's what we'll see. But usually,
what was he doing in Portland?
Take multiple weeks, and there's only
what was he doing in Portland? Well, I thought that's what he was doing in Portland. What are we even talking about?
Well, in Portland, he was doing a lot of individual work. The team wasn't in Portland with him, so he was just doing a lot of 1-on-0 stuff and trying to get his foot right. Again, he fractured his foot last summer. He was supposed to be back by now. David Griffin, the Pelicans, they all said he'd be back for opening night. He wasn't able to come back opening night. Obviously, he had multiple setbacks. So for right now, there was a lot of confusion. Would he have another surgery? Would he be done for the year? The fact that he doesn't have to go under the knife, it is a positive sign. But as of right now, to me, he's still facing an uphill battle to try to get back on the court, as much as in his mind, he feels like he might be able to make a return.
So Zion and the Williamson team, including pastor at Baptist Church, who blessed him. Oh, my God, Zion's back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my, amen, amen, amen. Oh, my God, he's back. They all think he's ready to go, but you're saying it will be the Pelicans who ultimately, potentially say, nah, you're not ready yet, because they don't think he can run in their system. They don't think he can keep up. What do you think it'll be because of?
I mean, it's going to be because he won't return if he's not 100% in shape, right? If he's not in basketball shape, if he's not in conditioning shape.
What was he doing in Portland? I don't understand.
The difference, though, between doing 1-on-0 work without any type of real program or real structure versus actually trying to get as part of a team structure. So I think that it's a much bigger and a different setting for him to be in New Orleans, be at the facility, be training with trainers, with coaches, and being around that program and that structure versus, being a part of something that's obviously much more dialed down, which is his own 1-on-0 training.
Oh, so he's half-assing it up there in Portland?
Wasted a bunch of time.
What did we say? What was he? Well, I know, Shams. I don't think I understand. I thought that's what he was doing. I thought he was getting back in shape so that he could go down to New Orleans, the foot, the body. And if he thinks he's good to go, and then the Pelicans say he's not good to go, that sets up for a bunch of right? That sets up for a lot of this, right, over the next couple of weeks.
I mean, listen, it's going to be a group thing, right? He's going to have to feel like he's 100%. And if he feels like he's one, I mean, there's no way he feels that way right now. He knows he has to ramp
What
it back
the
up.
fuck has he been doing?
Playing
I thought he was running
big.
suicide.
What has been going on? He's just been playing
Yeah,
basketball
it's
up
a
in
process.
Portland.
That's been out over a year. He hasn't played since, I believe, last April. For a guy that's been out this long, he's got to be able to ramp up the right way, spend multiple weeks working out with trainers, working out with coaches. And that's with Pelicans coaches, not, whoever was training with him in Portland.
I'm mind blown because as soon as I saw your tweet, I'm like, Zion's back.
Yeah, let's go.
Here
They
we
step in the right direction. He technically is back in New Orleans, and he technically is trying to progress toward playing. Now, will that happen with a month left in the year? Time is up against it for him right now. He's running up against whether he's going to be able to make his return. But there's a team that's. I mean, they've won 4 out of the last 5. They should be a team that makes the play-in. And at that point, I'm sure Zion Williamson will want to be a part of any type of playoff basketball if there is playoff basketball this year in New Orleans.
Well, they did change the entire playoff system to hopefully get Zion into the playoffs, and somehow the Pelicans were still unable to reach the playoffs. Now they're making a playoff push. He's back in town. He thinks he's healthy. He's a double-double king, and they're not going to play him. That's going to be a conversation, I assume. I assume that's going to be a loud conversation. Can't wait to see how it pans out. Speaking of another live conversation, hey, Ben Simmons up there with the Nets. He gets traded. Harden and Joel Embiid run the pick and roll. The Sixers are all the way back. Simmons is in the Nets. They lose. They're under 500. Are they dead? And is Simmons play? He's not playing against the Sixers, I guess, which is what the entire internet assumed was going to be the case, that this back injury was going to take place until after the Sixers return game. Does that have anything in this, or is he just trying to get back to being healthy and hopefully joining his teammates on the Nets?
No, he needs to get healthy, and he tried.
What
to
happened? What happened to this guy? He hasn't been playing. He's been practicing. What happened? I don't understand how this works. That's probably Zion right there. Yeah. Zion's probably telling you, "Hey, tell him I'm healthy."
Anytime that you sit out for a year and you ramp back up, you're going to deal with stuff. But your body, you're gonna deal with stuff. So Ben Simmons tried to ramp back up. There were some flare-ups with his back, and so it kind of delayed his season debut. Obviously, he's not going to debut. He's not going to make his debut in Philadelphia. But I am told he will be in Philadelphia. He'll make the trip, and the plan is for him to be on the bench with the team in Philadelphia. And listen, this game has been much anticipated since that trade was made. Even him sitting on the bench is a very much anticipated moment in this NBA season. So listen, I think there's a school of thought, why is Ben Simmons going to be on the bench if he's not playing? Does he know that he's going to get booed? Well, I think it's actually prudent because there's a very good chance these two teams will play each other maybe as soon as the first round of the playoffs. So if these two teams are going to be playing that quick, you don't want Ben Simmons to jump into the fray in the first round of the playoffs. You want to make sure he's able to get that experience in Philadelphia out in the regular season. So I think that was kind of part of the thinking of him going to Philadelphia and sitting on the bench with the team and with him, instead of just delaying it and just staying back. And then just, if he wants to make his return to Philadelphia in the playoffs, that's a high stakes situation to make a return. So I think for both sides, it's getting everything out of the way.
Let's let those Johns kill him on the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On the court.
Hey, Philadelphia.
Man. I'm sure they'll be nice.
I don't want to bring it up, but we all know Santa got it.
Yeah.
And Santa didn't openly say, "I hate this city."
No.
Santa just showed up.
Right.
And he got absolutely killed.
Pelted.
Threw shit at Sirianni.
Hey, are they going to have a little bit of a helmet for Simmons on the sideline there, or no?
I mean, listen, he's gotta stay protected for sure. So I don't know what the plan is over there. I don't know if he's going to be guarded. I've seen some pictures with glass, where he might be covered. I mean, you never know. Anything could be possible. But listen, Ben Simmons for the Nets, Ben Simmons has to get back on the floor, and I do expect him to make his debut at some point this month. Now, that's probably 2 or 3 weeks out. But there is optimism that he's going to be able to make his return at some point this month. And they need to make sure he gets on the floor healthy. They need to make sure the mandate that we've been talking about for months and months and months now gets lifted. There's a private sector mandate that still is hovering all over this Nets season that New York City still has in place that is preventing Kyrie Irving from playing. So The Nets, there are two things that they need to get, hopefully, falls in their favor over the next few weeks, and that's Ben Simmons' health and the mandate getting lifted.
Is Ben Simmons there for the long haul? Like, how many years are left on his deal? Do we know that? And
He's got 3 years and over 100, I believe, 110 plus million on his deal.
Okay, let's go, Ben.
He is in there for the long.
Hey, he slaps floor. He's learned how to shoot. These next 3 years are going to be the best 3 years of Ben Simmons' career. He's going to have to get through Philadelphia fans first, though. One more thing before the boys have some questions for you. We appreciate you joining us every single time you do. You keep us updated on all things. Is there something going on right now? Ooh. Are you about to break some news?
Nothing's going on. I'm just getting blasted with text messages right now. So.
Is it because of a lot of the what the fuck went on in Portland that Zion's not ready to play basketball? I thought that's what he was going to Portland for. What's going on with Ben Simmons? We thought he was mentally not healthy enough to play in Philly. Here it is.
Wow.
Here it is. Is that Adam Silver? He was sitting there with Jerry Seinfeld down at the Duke game. Calling Sham Charania here in the middle. Hey, by the way, not your world because it's college. Them losing to UNC on that day.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Coach K.
Losers!
Oh, my. No, listen, everybody shut up. All right? That's unacceptable.
What a send-off.
That was tough.
Loser.
Hey, but hey, those kids would go win a natty for him, though. It'd be a whole different game.
That's right.
Let's talk about Bron James. He just dropped a 56 piece. This comes after a clip from him talking at the shop, not being, heralded as one of the greatest scorers of all time. Pisses him off. He has like 36,000... maybe like 37,000 now at this point. I don't know the actual numbers. Third all-time leading scorer. He's like 4,000 points ahead of Michael Jordan, by the way. So he's way up there. He drops 56. He's still trying to carry the Lakers this season. Are they still dead completely, or what's going on with the Lakers?
I don't think they're dead, but yeah, I mean, LeBron James has been carrying this team for really weeks now. So he's carrying the entire burden right now. But listen, Russell Westbrook took a step in the right direction the other day, I thought, the way he played against the Warriors. And so this team, as long as they have LeBron James, they're in it. They're hoping for Anthony Davis to return at some point late in the year. But listen, this is a team that's going to be probably a play-in team, and then they're going to have to hopefully have some breaks and get lucky in some way. So,
hey, the NBA having LeBron in a play-in game's like dream scenario, right? I mean, that's pretty big. Those will do numbers.
For rating, I mean, I think last year when they played the Warriors in the play-in game, that one definitely did numbers. So, yeah, I mean, listen, that's why you go and you get the play-in game and you get the play-in tournament so that the ratings increase.
And it's like baseball. Baseball's got a 7,000 games, but then they have that one game.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
That's
this
right.
one gets you in. Season definitely mattered, but this one gets you in. Same thing with basketball over the last couple of years. Golden State, complete opposite, right? Golden State's a wagon right now. Is that accurate? They're going to win it all?
They need to get Draymond Green back. They need to get James Wiseman back. And once those two guys are back, I think you're going to be able to see whether this team is going to be able to make a run, right? Draymond Green, the hope is that he's back sometime middle of this month. And once you get Draymond Green back, that's really the anchor of this team, the heart and soul of this team. They need him back 100% and healthy. But if he's healthy and he looks like the Draymond Green we saw earlier this year, the Draymond Green that made an all-star team, I think they're going to be one of the favorites along with Phoenix in the Western Conference.
Do you think there's too many games? All these dudes are hurt?
No, I mean, there's been 82 games for the longest. I think it's an unfortunate stretch, especially with back injuries, right? We saw Darius Garland go through it. Draymond Green had a back issue. Ben Simmons had a back issue. KD obviously had the knee. So
he's back, right? KD's back, right?
Game schedule. I mean, this is something the NBA has been doing for decades. So guys got to play that.
Wait, I think I remember them talking like the sleep schedule is insane. A lot of these guys only get like 4 hours of sleep. The recovery is terrible. So that's been an entire conversation piece. KD's all the way back though, right? That's what he didn't want to come back until he was 100%. He said, I don't want to be used as a decoy. I like to go in there and be full time. Is Kevin Durant all the way back?
Back, and we saw him yesterday against Boston. I mean, he looked 100% back. He just needs to make sure that he can get the help on a nightly basis, right? When Kyrie Irving is playing 100% full time, when Ben Simmons is back on the floor, this Nets team, with Kevin Durant on the floor, they're a threat to beat any team in the league. But they need those two guys next to him to be able to, make that next run. But Kevin Durant looked great the other night in Boston. He looked like he didn't miss a step. Excited to see him the rest of the week as well as Thursday against Philadelphia.
I love Kevin Durant. Everything about him.
Yeah,
I love everything. He's an absolute dog. He's a savage. He's a troll, and he's great at what he does.
Yeah.
And doesn't care about anybody. Not cares about his teammates. Doesn't give a damn about all the noise. I absolutely love it. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Sean, speaking of Boston, they are by far the hottest team in the NBA. Probably going to go win the championship this year, if I had to guess. Do you see them adding a piece like a Zion? 14-2 in the last 16. We are rolling right now, Pat.
Celtics stink.
Jason Tatum just had 54 points against Kevin Durant. Beat his ass in and out of the paint.
It's his first game back, Kevin Durant's first game back.
Yeah, 100% though. Don't matter. He's unbelievable. Shams, so the Celtics championship, yeah, probably.
I don't know about a championship, but I mean the turnaround that they had this year, they looked like they were dead in the waters early in the year. I thought, there was obviously a lot of talk. Which direction will they go? Will they break up Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum? They kept both of them. They stuck with Marcus Smart. They stuck with this group. Really, pretty much the core of this group is the same as it's been for the last several years. And this is a team to me that can really give any team a run and try to make a run again to the Eastern Conference Finals, which I believe would be their fourth Eastern Conference Final in 6 years. So they've been on the doorstep a few times of making the NBA Finals. They haven't been able to do it. I think this year they've got a good shot to get back to that point. I don't know if they've got a championship team, but there's no question the run that they made, the turnaround they made, you have to give Ime Udoka credit. You got to give Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum a lot of credit because those two guys, Marcus Smart called them out early in the year, saying that those guys need to learn to trust their teammates. They need to learn how to pass the ball more. And both of those guys are making strides with their leadership, and that's what this organization has needed.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Shams, listen, you don't have to lie to Connor. All right? Celtics stink. They're dead. This ain't the days of when, Paul and all the boys are jogging out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Stevens, actually, now that he's at the presidential role.
Yeah.
Your guy. Your indie guy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, they ran him out of town. They
Shot
said, "This
it.
guy stinks, get him out
He's
of
the
town."
president. He still works for the team. What do you mean?
Yeah, kind of, but that's like the John Elway movie. They're like, we're going to promote you.
Yeah, run you out of town, give you a better job.
Actually, is he actually calling the shots over there, Brad Stevens, now, or is it just a figurehead?
Brad Stevens is the president of the organization. They have a few other, Mike Zarin, Austin Ainge, who's Danny Ainge's son. He's still in that organization. They both have, prominent roles, but there's no question. Brad Stevens, this is Brad Stevens' show.
Brad Stevens' vote's worth 2.
Yeah, bingo.
Is that accurate?
I don't know about 2, but he's definitely got the number 1 vote.
Oh, yeah. So
He's got 2.
Yeah, go ahead, Evan.
Shams, what's this rumor that LeBron's going to own a team in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I don't know anything about that one, so I definitely cannot answer that one.
Oh, so it's all for gays. That's a bunch of bullshit?
Wow.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
I haven't heard it, so when I hear it, I'll come on and we'll talk about it, but I haven't heard it yet.
Wow. Sean said, listen, I ain't talking out of pocket.
Might be out of the circle. I don't know. I might be out of that circle. I have no idea.
No, last week you said he called Rich Paul and said, hey, is there any beef between you and the Lakers, LeBron and the Lakers? And he said, absolutely none at all. Now there's a conversation about him being...
About this one, LeBron is still playing. Maybe when he's close to retiring, I'll ask.
So is there any talk at all about an expansion?
I think the league's always been looking into it, but with the pandemic the last couple of years, it kind of got prolonged. I haven't gotten the sense that it's in the next 1 or 2 or 3 years. Now, could the plan start to develop in that amount of time? For sure, but I don't think this is something that's going to pop up in the next, in this calendar year.
How about the Pacers? They still going to be in the NBA next year, or are they going?
Good question.
Yes, the Pacers will be in the NBA next year.
Wow.
How we doing? Are we good or are we terrible?
bad.
No, not
Very
good.
bad.
I don't know. I don't know. Miles Turner and Malcolm Brogdon are still going to be there. It seems like clearly, there's 2 different directions that team can go. They could keep both of those guys and keep, retooling with a bunch of vets and young players. But yeah, the Pacers will still be in the NBA.
They stink right now, though, huh?
They're looking like they're a lottery team. Yes.
Oh, man, we stink!
Oh,
I haven't even
jeez.
paid attention. Now's like basketball season. Now's when I would get into the Pacers. You're saying, the only thing to get into is maybe they lose more games to gain a 0.5% opportunity to potentially land in the number 1 overall pick. Is that still happening in the NBA? People are tanking so they can gain a 0.5% or maybe a percentage higher so they can get a higher pick in that lottery that isn't rigged at all, right? I mean, that's sure that little bingo ball isn't rigged at all in that entire thing, right?
no one's gonna say it, but I mean, it's just look at the bottom teams, and you're gonna see a bunch of teams that are clearly, you're going young, right? You want to build around young players, but usually when you have a team full of first and second year players, that usually means you're gonna be, fighting for lottery position. Unless you're Memphis. Memphis is another story. They're a team of two and 3 year guys, and they're competing for a top seed.
I watch the NBA through social media clips. Okay, Ja Morant has all the social media clips as of late. Has he just come on into his own, or am I just learning about him more often? Because it feels like he's the guy right now. Ja Morant seems to be the young guy that is going. Trae Young last year during the playoff run there, whenever he was making all of Madison Square Garden mad, felt like he had his big, like, hey, how you doing? I'm Trae Young moment. Is that happening with Ja right now, and how are the Memphis team?
Yeah, no question. I think Ja Morant has definitely been one of the faces of the league. Memphis is going to be a team, again, I don't know if they're going to be like Boston. I don't know if they're going to be a team that gets to the finals, but they're definitely going to be a hard out in every round. They could make a run to the conference finals. And Ja Morant, because of their success, because he's been able to stay on the floor for the majority of this season, and the highlight plays, the way he moves, the way he plays, I mean, this is like Derrick Rose, Allen Iverson, Russell Westbrook, kind of all packaged into one. And the way the highlight plays he's making right now, there's a reason why he's on every single social channel out there.
He's a dog, right? That's what everybody says. He's just a dog.
He's like, to me, he's like, he's loyal. He's got a lot of Giannis in him, where he's going to attack you. Like you said, he's a dog. He's a guy that's going to play hard at all times, lead the right way. He's exactly the type of player that you want to lead your franchise.
Was he in that Foot Locker commercial you were in when you were looking for a new phrase? You remember we were watching that last week?
Yeah.
Guys, I need a new
man,
phrase.
He should have been there. I don't think he was there, though.
Hey, look at you getting up. Hey,
Maybe Sean.
let's go, Sean. Saw a photo of you last week crossing nobody, but it was better crossed than the other person that was in the photo with you. And I saw the Foot Locker thing. Let's go, Sean. Go ahead, Tone.
Sean, speaking of Ja, is there conversations around the NBA? Greg Oden, Kevin Durant, Zion, Ja Morant. Like, is that's happening, right?
I mean, I think you hear it sometimes in barbershops and like maybe pundits, but I haven't. That's not something I talk about on a daily basis with my people. But
thank you, Sean, for being positive.
It's been tough when Zion's on the floor. He is special, and he's he's an insane athlete. He can do stuff on the floor. I think JJ Redick said it best. He does stuff on the floor that no one else can do, and so at 6'6", 6'7", for him to dunk the way he dunks and move the way he moves, it's uncanny. He just needs to get healthy.
But what was he in? What was he doing in Portland?
Wasting a lot of time.
Why do you go to Portland?
Just hang out.
Yeah.
Listen, he was making sure the foot was healing right, spending time training under whoever he was training with over there, and making sure before he gets back to New Orleans, his foot is healing the right way. It is. He's back in New Orleans. Now he's going to try to ramp up.
Portland must be gorgeous. He just went up there to hang out.
Beautiful.
He comes back to New Orleans like, nah, he ain't ready
Now
to
you
play.
can ramp up.
Now you can ramp up. I don't understand. It must be beautiful. I don't know if anybody could stop you on the court. I think the entire NBA is very lucky that you chose to cover it and be an insider, because with handles like this, that killer mentality, look at that Mamba mentality.
I can shoot it a little bit. I can definitely shoot it a little bit. So, I'm just saying.
I think you got a little wiggle in there, too. I'm not 100% sure because this is a static photo, but I think there was a little bit of wiggle in this, too. Let's go, Shams. Hey, we appreciate you. Who's winning it all?
Thanks, guys. You ask me this every time. I think it's like 5 or 6 teams that I think have a shot. Golden State, Utah. And then in the East, guys, I mean, Miami, Milwaukee, Philly, Brooklyn.
Boston.
Where the hell's the bull?
Boston. Throw Boston in there.
Yes!
Chicago's,
Hell
4, 5, 6 seeds right now. Like, the East is going to be a fun playoff run.
I can't wait to watch. This is when basketball gets good. When do the playoffs start?
April 16 is when the play-in tournament starts. So that's really when the fun begins.
All right. We can't wait to keep up with everything happening in the association via you. Ladies and gentlemen, senior lead NBA insider, writer, and analyst for The Athletic and Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, Shams Charania. Thank you, pal. All right, let's get to a break. Shall we? What? I don't think I understand what happened with Zion.
Yeah, he was just kind of, hanging 10 up there.
It sounds like he just went to lay around.
Yeah.
It's very obvious he's a huge Portland Timbers fan. They're a great soccer team. Who knows more about the
Yeah, but he
foot?
was up there before the league even started for MLS.
Who knows more about the foot? than soccer players. They're helping them out. They're helping them get ready.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Sounds like you're just wasting a whole bunch of time playing pig and that kind of stuff.
Not doing much.
Is he playing basketball? Like what?
What is he doing?
Yeah, horse is too long. He was definitely playing pig.
I don't like it.
It doesn't make
Let's
any
get the
sense.
double machine on the court.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, too, now it's to the point where it's like, oh, okay, well, they're just going to have a constant. Like, well, you were training out there with some guy who isn't employed by the team. So, like,
Yeah, it's not like it's a welcoming, hey, come on back.
right.
Float in the parade.
All right, we're back.
I mean, he had to see.
Come on, Zion!
Come on.
You can do
Come
it.
on, Pelicans! Come on, put your swords away. Let's see some good basketball.
Poland's known for their donuts.
Oh, so he's just munching on
Wow.
donuts.
Zito, there's
And
no
ice cream.
reason. There's no reason for you to act.
I just looked it up.
Yeah, but now's not the time to act. Jeez Louise. And now we got less than a minute till the hard out for serious. So we might as well drag this thing out here. Next hour, AJ Hawk will be with us.
Okay.
He was at that wedding this week.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's gonna be all boozed up still? You think?
Yeah, well, maybe boozed up, maybe tired because it was a long way away. I mean, it was like a 5 hour. It was like a 5 hour. What? No, I think we play the music. I think it was like a 5 hour trip over there from Ohio to California where the wedding was happening. He's gonna be tired, but he's here.
Hell yeah.
And then these are the moments when somebody's a little woozy, a little tired, you start pop, 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 pop,
right.
pop. Look for some information to be gained about 10 minutes from now with AJ Hawk joining us after a weekend with Aaron, LaFleur, Bakhtiari, the entire Packers operation. And I believe Miles Teller was there.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I heard he was there. I'm excited to hear how his life is, if his face is healed since getting jumped in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Hour 2 will be on the other side of this break. We can't thank you enough. Cheers.
I want to offer you something. Okay.
Do I need like a pen or
You
something?
probably do, sure. So, and that's where you normally are. You know, it's like, and I know you love what we do, and you're a part of the team, big time. And people in the organization really enjoy it, and fans all over the world really enjoy you being you. You know, and you can't find anyone. I can't imagine back in the day Bob Costas standing up on a desk and dancing. Like that, okay, but you're you. You know, and that's why it works. You know, and so with that, it's like I'd like to offer you an opportunity to actually wrestle at WrestleMania.
It'd be a dream, boss.
In the ring. Now, it would be the difference, though, when you played for the Colts. It'd be the difference of like, okay, you're the punter.
Okay.
But now, in the ring, you're going to be a linebacker.
24 tackles in the NFL. No big deal.
That would be a fucking dream, obviously. And by the way, there's been a lot of chatter on the internet about me getting back into the ring and wrestling at WrestleMania. And I've had so many torn, conflicted feelings because, you know, I'm out of shape. I am out of shape. There's a lot of vitamins that go into these lungs, Vince, and like the things coming up. But WrestleMania is something I've obviously stolen from you. By the way, back in the day, we'd go to whoever had the black box would steal WrestleMania. So sorry about that. I probably owe you like $7, $8.99 or so like that for that whole thing. But obviously, it is the standard at WrestleMania. I would love to. That'd be an absolute
I'd love
honor.
to see you in the ring. We'll find some worthy opponent for you. Put you in the ring.
Wow. Holy shit.
Hey, huh? Did you see the ring when you walked by, by the way?
I did. I was impressed you have your own ring.
Yeah, I got
It looks like a standard WA ring.
Well, listen, I don't know if that's how hard your rings are, but goddamn, that thing hurts. That thing hurts like hell. This is incredible, by the way. Is this a real deal? I mean, are we really?
Yep. No, I don't bullshit. I don't do that.
Let's go.
Here we go. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Damn it! The hell are we gonna do now that football's over?
This guy doesn't get it.
What are you talking about? What? Are you kidding me? We got fucking Morgan State and Norfolk State on right now. Who cares about that? Let me tell you something. We found out a long time ago, okay? Okay. You win $50 on football? Yeah. Does that make you feel good? Yeah. Okay? Yeah, that's why I'm bummed it's over. Guess what? That same $50 you can win on Morgan State versus Norfolk State.
It all pays the same.
What?
Connor, they're right. $50 won in college basketball is the same as $50 won in pro football.
We're back! Yes!
Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, you know, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
The system crashed out. Only one camera is of use at this moment. For those that are watching at home, we apologize. This makes me feel good Friday.
I can't believe that the cameras aren't working on today of all days.
Yeah, well, I mean, if
This is the universe.
Oh, hey, pal. How you doing?
Gabagool. I need a nice cold Bud Light.
Oh, you're fucking out.
How's your fan? How's your fan? Maybe a couple whiskeys.
What?
Gabagool. 80,000 individual eyes that are looking at these eyes right now. What the fuck are you doing? Two scotches.
What?
Are you kidding me? Tequila.
What?
55, 56, 63. That's how many new wrinkles I'm going to bring to the office.
I get things done, Patty.
Vodka.
What?
He said I was on meth. I ain't ever done meth.
It's already dressed up like Russell Wilson.
Margarita. What?
He's Brett Michaels.
You're fucking out. More ice cold Bud Light. What? More ice cold Bud Light. What? More ice cold Bud Light. What?
What?
Ice cold. What?
Cheers. Thanks everybody for watching.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, hour 2 on this Monday, March 7th, 2022. It shall begin right now. Shots to Twine for that beat drop. Shout to you for watching wherever the hell you may be. Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor, Tone Diggs, all here in the building. The boys in the back and joining us. Fresh out of a wedding in Santa Barbara, California.
Whoa.
2 people deeply in love decided to commit forever to each other. It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
No stone left unturned from the photos that I seen. It was a glorious occasion. A B-list?
Sure.
What is he?
Yeah, you could. I'd give you B-list.
A B-list, A-list Hollywood star was playing the piano at one point.
Oh.
There was flowers, there was love, there was booze, there was celebrities, and there was one man officiating the entire wedding that the entire world is looking at to decide what they are going to do with their programs, depending upon what he does with his program. Ladies and gentlemen, a man that was there had boots on the ground, jaw in conversations, ears listening all over the place, somehow made its way back to Columbus, Ohio, already, didn't even miss a day, probably incredibly hungover. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, college football national champion, COVID survivor, Aaron Rodgers' best friend, AJ Hawk. AJ, how you doing, pal?
I'm good. I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're very impressed that you were able to make it back for today's show. Thought there was zero chance you were going to fly out to a wedding in California and make it back. Thought we wouldn't see you till at least tomorrow. The fact that you're here, we're very thankful. Baby.
Thank you, AJ.
What am I just going to hang out and spend a day? My wife and I spend a day in California by ourselves.
Well, I don't know what you would do.
We took off. Believe me, when we left the hotel to go to the airport, there were some people still straggling in from the party. So, we got out of there pretty early.
Okay, so let's talk about a great party. It sounds like a good time. Bakhtiari's, hey, forever. We love. People are having a good time out there. A lot of big-time names out there, AJ Hawk. How was your time out there at his wedding?
I had a great time. It was good to catch up with some former teammates. Clay Matthews is out there. Josh Sitton, got to see those guys. Oh. Randall, all different kinds of guys that I played with. Micah Hyde was actually there. Micah, I played with my rookie year. Fun to see him. Crazy that he's going into his 10th season. I was talking to him about that. So,
yeah, it was a fun time, man.
There was others there. LaFleur was there, and there was somebody officiating the wedding named Aaron Rodgers. Don't know if you know that. Was there a moment where there was no groomsmen up there, no brides? He was just standing in front of an entire congregation. Did he look like David Koresh, and did you get any photos of that?
I did not take any pictures, really, when I was out there. But, yeah, there was a time. There was a few, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 seconds when he walked up by himself, and then he stood up there in front of everybody, yeah.
How'd he look? How'd he do? Was he comfortable, calm, poised? What was the speech like? What was the service like?
Well, we were all set to heckle him, do whatever it took to get him off his game. City and Clay and I, no question, and Randall. But you know what? Not surprising. He was prepared. He was very funny and very touching and emotional. He did a great job. I think he gave the bride and groom what they wanted. It was good.
And they did get married.
They are officially married, I believe.
Yeah. What a success story. What a love story.
Love.
We love love around here.
We do love.
We kind of get attacked for not sometimes when we have to say the hard things that nobody else wants to say, but we love around here, don't we?
Did he do that?
Hey, Bakhtiaris, we love you.
Love you,
Bakhtiaris.
Did the officiant of the wedding do any of this at the end of it whenever he was walking out?
Not if he did, I did not see it, but that would have been a nice touch.
Did he say anything in the service like, hey, Bakhtiari, it was fun being teammates with you. Now that you're married, I don't have to deal with you anymore. Was there any type of that during the service, or did those conversations happen afterwards at the reception? Oh, you look good. TMZ, obviously.
And did you send it in?
Wow, yeah, I don't know.
Was there
Yeah,
spies
that's
there
a good
taking
pick.
photos?
Yeah, he didn't. He made plenty of jokes up there during his little, during this ceremony, but they were all. I feel like everybody was laughing. It wasn't just to one person. He didn't sit out there and say, "Okay, I've had fun with you, David. Now I'm off to Denver to go see greener pastures."
Okay, good transition.
Or something, you think?
Hey, that's a good transition. Thank you, AJ. That's good hosting. So, as you were traveling out to California for this wedding, in which Aaron was involved and a lot of your former teammates and the celebrities around Miles Teller.
Oh, man, Top Gun.
How's his face? His face is good after getting jumped in Hawaii?
He looks great.
That's good. Hey, good for Miles,
Let's go.
man.
Hey, Miles.
Thought he was dead there for a little bit.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what I mean? Thought he was. Yeah, I was very worried about Miles Teller's face. Happy it's okay. That was a real shame there, the way that whole thing happened.
I was pissed about it for
Bum to
weeks.
be a part of, because we broke that news that he got punched in the mouth. Wasn't anybody else. It was our story.
Yeah, Inside source.
Fucking Miles Teller. So let's talk about the wedding. Right before you guys go out there, bomb is dropped. Boom. And I think it's because of combine conversation. I'm not 100% sure. And I don't know who was initially the one reporting it. I don't know if it was Mike Silver, who is a piece of shit, but he's been around the NFL for a long time, and he has a lot of sources. I don't know if it was Ian Rappaport. I don't know if it was Fowler. I don't know who it was exactly. But somebody said, hey, listen, Aaron's torn. Aaron is very, very torn up about this because we thought this thing would be ending last week. He'd just go back to the Packers. They were in the middle of negotiations. Now Fowler's reporting it's going to be a 3 to 4 year deal if he is to go back to the Packers, even though initial reports were it was only going to be a 2-year deal. So who knows anything? Maybe nobody. And if it is a 4-year deal, maybe the last 2 years are voidable so that they can spread out the bonuses for all of them. That is all to be figured out at this point. But we all assumed he was going to still be a Packer going into this weekend. Then the bombs dropped like, nah, he's not. He's torn. He might go elsewhere. Then there's 3 other teams, the Broncos, the Titans, and the Steelers are potentially in the conversation, says Florio, because of his insiders and who he's hearing from. After going to the wedding, what are your thoughts? Did you ask Aaron directly, and what did he tell you he was going to do?
I did not ask him directly what he was going to do.
Like even go.
Our show is boots on the ground.
You're right. Didn't rap sheet tell us I'm not using my sources correctly?
Yeah, it's your friends. They're not your friends, they're your sources. I just turned this thing all the way up as loud as I could. Just blew out both of my ears.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God, that hurts so bad. That's why I can't be playing basketball. That's why this was Zion's thinking probably. But whatever you think about Aaron Rodgers and, the entire situation, a lot of noise. Tomorrow, the franchise tag deadline ends at 4 o'clock. He obviously knows that. He mentioned that whenever he was thinking about whenever he was telling us he was going into decision-making mode after the PK, obviously. After the Ponch Karma cleanse, he had that. Was there any sense that he hated everybody there? He didn't want to go back to the Packers? Was there any conversation at all that you heard?
I did not get the sense that he hated anybody out there. His head coach was out there. Coordinator Stenovich was out there as well. Everyone seemed to get along great as far as I was able to observe.
All right, put it on the ticker.
Yep.
Do we have a ticker? I don't even know. Do we have I can't, the ticker? Put it on the ticker right there. Put it on the ticker. That old.
So do
Aaron-
we know, like, is this information confirmed, this so-called bomb that you say dropped?
No,
of course not.
None of it is. None of it's confirmed. The only thing that is confirmed is that we thought his decision would have been made by now. And since everybody else thought that as well, they're now labeling him selfish. And he is obviously manipulating the media to be about him and everything like that. I got people tweeting me, of course you're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Well, the MVP of the league is potentially on the move. Have to talk about it. He is the story, though, on every single network right now. And they were calling him selfish, prima donna, prick, everything like that, basically because of sources that were breaking information about him that weren't necessarily him. It's an insane world that he lives in. And I'm happy to hear that you were with him while all these things were breaking down. You have a daily show you're a part of, and you chose not to ask him anything about it. That's a good friend, AJ.
That's right.
You're a good friend, AJ.
He was a bit preoccupied, by the way. He was going through the program that he was going to run that night earlier in the day. When I was able to sit down with him for a little bit, I was more quizzing him on the program and what it was going to be, how long it may be. I know the sun was coming from one direction, hitting me right in the side of the face. It was about 4:45 at night. You know how I go with that. I am not good at staying awake. That sun's hitting me right in the left side. But luckily, Aaron was entertaining enough. I stayed awake, and I really enjoyed the ceremony.
Oh, so you didn't snooze during the ceremony. That's a compliment.
Wow.
That's a big-time compliment.
Good work.
Yeah.
Aaron was very diligent, very nervous for his performance up there. Is that the first wedding he's ever done?
I believe it's the first wedding he has done. I don't think he was nervous. If he was, he didn't show any signs of that either before or on stage.
You know, love was in the air out there from what we heard.
What's that mean?
You know.
Well, there were some photos and some hanky.
What photos? Honestly, I haven't seen any photos because I know it wasn't a big thing out there.
Well, somebody snuck photos. I
Yeah.
mean, we saw
Of course.
we saw
Somebody
a bunch
always
of them.
will.
This photo was on TMZ, but there was, I guess, reports that he was getting his rear end pinched by somebody.
Clapping cheeks.
During
By who?
cocktail hour. During the cocktail hour.
By
AJ.
somebody. You know that
Who was
cocktail
pinching
hour?
his cheeks?
You know.
Well, you know, I don't want to
know.
say the name, but she was potentially a part of the conversation that we had with him a couple weeks ago in the background, but he turned the TV off.
That's cool.
So you don't deny
Care
it.
to comment?
I haven't seen the picture, but hey, that's whatever is out there. If you see a picture and you think it's real, it might be real. I don't know.
We got you.
His little baby cakes pinched. Is that news?
Hey, well, it is news because of who was doing it, because of everything that was potentially said. But I mean, you had the eyes on the ground there, and you say if you see the photo, it's real. If not, everything.
I
else.
kind of have my blinders on, man. A lot of the weekend.
What a terrible spot you're in. There's so many things.
It's really not. It's really not because I don't have any information. I'm not out there. Like, do you think I would get invited to things if I'm out there quizzing dudes? So hey, like, I don't want to. Can I record this? Like, what should you want to talk about? Like, I'm not out there.
No, I know that, but you just naturally see something, and then you're coming right into the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna say, oh, who'd you talk to out there? Did you have any conversations with anybody else other than Aaron out there?
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people. It's fun. I talked to somebody. I forget who it was. I was just before the show. I started thinking about this. I don't know who it was, but they thought you were for sure wrestling Vince McMahon, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe eventually he's wrestling Vince McMahon. That's what I thought.
What is
And
this
I said,
guy?
No,
Yeah.
he's fighting some other dudes.
Austin Theory, dude. Don't be. That's the internet, okay? The internet said I was going to wrestle Vince McMahon. And it was news to me. I didn't even know I was wrestling this guy until he slapped me in the mouth.
Yeah.
AJ, this guy smacked me in the mouth.
Knocked your headset off. Is that right?
Yeah, right there in Miami. I thought Jimmy Butler was.
You kind of put your face out there. You kind of welcomed that.
No, I was letting him know. What? That's almost what I was saying. What? Excuse me. I was having a good time. It was one day removed from being told I have a WrestleMania match. This is awesome.
What's your problem, AJ? Stop siding with these goons.
Who did I side with? I didn't side with Austin
Adam
Theory.
Cole.
Adam Cole. Then now Austin Theory.
He was a nice guy.
Adam Cole still is a very nice guy.
Son of a bitch.
How dare you?
He's a sack of shit.
Never
He's the
was.
worst.
And neither are you, by the way, because, you put us in a spot where we have to ask these questions to you, and we never get a goddamn answer.
Yeah, interesting.
You would have thought.
What was LaFleur like? LaFleur's eyebrows looked incredible.
Yeah, very nice tux. Yeah, very squared away, very impressive person. Yeah, no question.
You didn't play for him, right? When did you meet him for the first time?
Actually, when I had a long, illustrious career with the Atlanta Falcons for about 3.5 weeks. He was the quarterback coach during that time, so I briefly met him and talked to him then, and then reconnected a little bit this weekend.
Oh, so this is the first time meeting LaFleur. What were your thoughts on him as a human?
Like I said, the most time I've spent with him. Oh, he's awesome. Super smart, super driven, like detail-oriented, seems to really, really care about the team too.
Has a good time?
Yeah, definitely. Like a guy that you can talk to, like real conversations, not just like, hey man, so what do you think I should do? Should I go more 2x2 or 3x1 in the red zone? Like he's not one of those guys.
Did you talk to him about this?
I did not actually. I should have. I honestly, I didn't think about that. I should have.
All right. I mean, I'll text you
Okay,
next
do you
time.
think they'll ever really, like, if you keep doing it, they might actually get quieter the more you do it.
No. Well, you think every time you do it, it does raise a decibel level, do you think?
It has to, yeah, because people forget to cheer. Oh, yeah, here we go. We need to cheer.
Does he do it at the wedding too?
Yeah, did he do it at the wedding?
Probably did.
Afterwards, I now pronounce you husband and wife on the floor. Yeah, come on, guys. Come on.
If we could have set that up before, if we'd have talked about that beforehand, I think the old Takatari family would have been all in on that. When they like, and I now pronounce you man and wife, whatever, and then all of a sudden the floor gets up and pumps the crowd.
Come on. Let's
go.
Make some noise. We need big
Is that what he
time
sounds
stop.
like when he does it?
I don't know, that's what it
Has
looks
to.
like through the TV. I don't know. I've never heard him speak. I've never talked to him. But it does look like he's doing, come on, guys. Get up. But I love the way he coaches, because the way Aaron chatted about him is like he delegates. He's not scared to admit when he doesn't know something. Seems like he's a cool dude. And he does dress incredibly sweet as well on the sideline.
Great style.
Those things that were awesome. I mean, Ty, I think you should have maybe been the officiant of that wedding. Oh. Sounds like Green Bay Packers heaven over there.
Well, I mean, if he was calm, cool, and collected and having a good time, then I see no reason why you would think Rodgers is going anywhere but the Packers.
Yeah,
because if he potentially wasn't, I mean, I guess maybe he's still showing up because Bakhtiari's there, but that's a very awkward situation. He knows Aaron's going to be there a bunch. You can book it. Rodgers going back to Green Bay.
Okay, lock it in, says Ty. We're on a ticker. Ty Schmidt says because LaFleur was having a good time at Bakhtiari's wedding and he wasn't uncomfortable and it wasn't awkward, book it that Aaron's going back to Green Bay.
Boom. Think it's as simple as that.
See, that's not how I.
Hey, that's reading social cues. What, you thought it was a goodbye party?
Well,
what are you saying,
I mean,
Tone?
if he was going back, and he would have announced it before the wedding. Now that he's waited till after, he didn't want to have the wedding be awkward because he wasn't going back.
Well, see, I also thought there was a chance he didn't want to announce it before the wedding because that wedding then becomes a celebration that Aaron Rodgers is back with the Packers as opposed to the Bakhtiari wedding. Like, that is a real thing that could have... Now, this was assuming that Aaron Rodgers is a human, which a lot of people don't think that is the case. But that is something that could have crept into his, universe in his whole thought process. Or did you... I mean, you had to have... Like, you had to have gotten some sort of hint about how he's like. Do you think he's nearing an answer?
I said from day one. No, I don't know if he's nearing anything. I don't know what he's waiting for or whatever. Yeah, I still, like I would say to his face all the time, yeah, you're going back to Green Bay. Like I always said that.
All right, so after a wedding in which Aaron was the officiant of, with Bakhtiari, LaFleur, everybody there, AJ Hawk back saying, just like I said before, still going to the Packers. Those reports of him going elsewhere, and then the Packers have come out and said, we have received no official trade offers, and then the reports are, these teams already got trade offers ready to go. It's wild about who knows what, who's speaking to who wants certain information out, who doesn't. That is what the game we have to play all offseason. Hopefully we'll get an answer from the officiant, Doctor of Love.
That's right.
Aaron Rodgers.
Hell yeah.
At some point.
He's the only one that knows though right now. He is truly the only one that knows what he's going to do.
Whoa.
Okay, there's some more news from AJ Hawk from the wedding. I knew we'd get
Who else would know? If he hasn't said anything to the Packers, whether he's coming back, whether he wants out, whatever. How many people you think he's telling?
Well,
what if he doesn't know? He probably has no idea. I think when he knows, he'll know.
Well, so he has to figure that out by tomorrow, right? 4 o'clock is what everybody's saying.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Is that what they're saying? I mean, he doesn't have to, but that would help, wouldn't it?
Kind of does.
All right, put it down. AJ Hawk says he doesn't have to know.
He can wait till July 30th if he wanted.
If he doesn't want to play with Devontae.
Write it down.
He can wait till September 27th after they play a few games.
What?
Put it on my
I
calendar.
don't think he could.
I think they'd want him
Wouldn't
for
that be
the
a
start
little
of the
bit?
season.
That'd be a little tough.
It is before his trade deadline, though.
What would he do? Is that's the feeling you got from going out there?
No, I didn't gather anything going out there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, let's move around. Since we're obviously not going to get anything, we've reached.
I would love to know what you want. I cannot wait till this is done, by the way.
Well, it
What,
might
the
not
whole
be
thing?
till.
The whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, me too, buddy. How about I don't even talk to the guy. I don't go to these weddings, and I just get fucking at it. Bang, bang, bam, 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 bam.
It's all right. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, we don't. nobody really knows. Nobody has any clue what's going on really ever. So here we are again.
All right, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. There we go. I just can't believe on the drive when you two were sitting in a big rig from California to Columbus that you two didn't talk about this at all.
What are you insinuating, Diggs?
Well, COVID's dead, but if it wasn't, I think what Diggs is saying is you would have been up there with them truckers up there, coming all the way through, from all the way over. I guess there was eyes on the convoy by the Italian boys heading back to Pittsburgh this weekend. And I'll tell you what, I thought we'd beat COVID already, but I was down in Miami. They didn't see it. They didn't. Everybody, we're talking full.
In Florida?
Yeah, Miami. I don't think Florida. Miami. First time I landed in an airport, everybody's masked. Everybody's pissed, by the way. Everybody was miserable. I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, you live in fucking Miami. What are we even doing over there? I'm like, all right, dude. Jeez Louise. Hey, is there any way? No, this is Miami. All right, great to see you. Are you actually pissed right now, or is this just your natural tone? Bring the mask down, miserable. Put the mask back on. Miami was full. It was maybe the most mask conscious area that I've ever been in, even in the arena.
Oh, yeah.
Legit. Like, been around. We're in California. We've been in all these. I've been in New York, Baltimore, Philly. I've been in all the big cities that were kind of having a mask. Miami was the most masked group of people at work that I have seen, at the airport, at the arena, everything like that. And this came after I thought the speech said that we beat COVID. So I was very surprised in that whole thing, but maybe that's what the truckers are still driving for.
Private sector.
Don't let DeSantis get down there and see that.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Tear that place apart.
Take the fucking mask.
Take those fucking masks.
Wear it if you want, but you're not fooling anybody. Okay. Respect.
DeSantis has been his own outlaw since the beginning of this entire thing. Boy, the internet loved him telling that kid to take the mask off.
Oh, man.
The internet loved it.
The kid's reaction to it, too. Like, Jesus Christ, what did I do? Someone just told me I had to put it on.
Yeah, literally, my teacher just told me I had to. And DeSantis is like, what is your teacher? Okay.
Fire.
DeSantis going entire, your teacher doesn't want to teach anymore. That's why, blah, 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 blah. It's an entire thing. It is interesting because obviously there's something very serious going on around the world. And I don't know enough about the politics, but I thought we had beat COVID. I don't think that is the case, though. After landing in Miami, I do not think that is the case. I still think we're in the middle.
Hey, a dude on a guy, one of the flight attendants did mention, I overheard him talking to somebody saying he thinks the 18th they might take away masks in airplanes for people.
Whoa. That's a big deal.
Breaking.
That's a big deal. We better have COVID figured out by then.
Yeah.
How many days was that? 11 days?
Yeah.
Well, they better figure it out
Fast.
I mean,
he could have been making that up easily, but I heard that. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know if they're ever taking masks off on airplanes.
What was that? That was the person on the microphone? Because every once in a while, some people get on there and cut like a 5-minute promo too. You know what I mean? Is that what they were saying? Is that who it was, or was it somebody?
No, he was actually very nice, but he was talking to somebody in front of me and saying that. He's like, oh, well, we would probably still wear masks, but the 18th, I think they might go away. I was like, oh, okay, nice.
That's game changer.
That'll be an entire conversation.
I did see something here. TSA did say that they it would end March 18th.
Holy shit.
Okay.
So 11 days from now, we beat COVID?
That sounds like it.
Holy
But
shit.
right now, we didn't?
Yeah.
So they're projecting 11 days from now. Will it a little bit better?
Sounds like it.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
I don't want to celebrate too early.
But
What day of the week is that?
it's a good sign.
We all just hopping on planes?
Oh, it's a Friday, too. That's cool.
Oh, for the
Good
weekend.
Friday.
Oh, it's
Spring break.
Oh.
St. Patty's.
St. Patty's.
It's the day after St. Patty's, right? But that's St. Patty's weekend, I guess.
Right. St. Patty's going to be big this year, isn't it? Not like the first one where people most people can be out, I guess.
I went to the mall this weekend. Never doing that again. But went to the mall this weekend, and it was like the first weekend, I think, where everybody was like, the weather was nice, and the COVID fear was a little bit lower, I think, for some people. It was packed out. I mean, that place was packed out at the mall. Feels like the world is all coming back. Now, seems like we're doing this 11 days, 12 days in advance. We should maybe be waiting a little bit, but it feels like St. Patrick's Day is going to be we're back, bitch. Celebration.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, St. Patrick got rid of the snakes. Now the masks.
Well, COVID, it sounds like.
Going to be a big day for us Irish lads, boys.
Huge.
Well, St. Patrick was Italian, so.
Listen.
No, he wasn't.
Don't even do what you just did.
Tony.
Don't even do what you just did,
You
please.
son of a bitch.
Let's move along, okay? Franchise tag deadline tomorrow, 4 p.m. Everybody assumes that Aaron Rodgers will have his decision by then.
Do they? Are you trying to look at me?
I'm not trying
So
to
what do
either.
they have to do with Devontae Adams before 4 p.m.? What has to happen?
They have to tag him or not tag him. They have to decide to
He
tag
didn't
him.
have to. He didn't have to like sign off on the tag though, right?
No, they designate him a tag, but they could potentially want to use that for somebody else. You know, if they know Devontae's not going to be there because Aaron's not going to be there, why would you keep them both? Who knows? The NFL can figure out their own thing. Green Bay can figure out what they want to do. Aaron's decision, we all assumed, will be done by now. It's obviously a much larger decision than anybody is giving any respect to at this particular point. His future, his legacy, championships, his life. Whatever. Hopefully he'll make that decision. But tomorrow by 4 p.m., teams have to have it designated who they're going to franchise tag. Cleveland Browns today, David Njoku, tight end for the Browns, has officially been franchise tagged. That does not mean a long-term deal cannot be reached. They can still negotiate after the tag has been placed, but it does mean he is definitely going to be a Cleveland Brown for at least another year. Now, this automatically brings a lot of stats and facts and tweets from people about Njoku on whether or not he's worth the millions and millions of dollars guaranteed that comes with the franchise tag. I guess he's only had one game with 80 or more yards in that game this past season. Bill Barnwell tweeted that. That was an interesting stat. They must view him as a very critical piece of that offense, whether it's blocking or in the locker room or whatever the case. Austin Hooper due another $13 million next year. Now the decision about what he's going to do or what they're going to do with him is up in question. But Njoku is the first official tag of the 2022 year over there in Cleveland, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, they definitely value Njoku. I mean, watch the guy. He's an absolute freak athlete. You watch him move. I know he had some drop issues early in his career. He doesn't anymore. He's definitely gotten better at that, and they value him a lot. But something's going to have to happen with Hooper's contract, right? Either move stuff, give him bonuses, make him take a cut, something for him to be there.
Well, I think if they cut him, they save a certain amount of money, and then they could probably trade him. I assume some teams are going to want Austin Hooper. He came in as a road grader for Atlanta, but could make some plays for them as well.
Post 6-1, trade or release, they save about $10 million.
Ooh. So that's potentially what everybody's staring down. So that stinks for Hooper because June 1 is a long time. There's a lot of contracts and teams that already get pieced together. Who knows what that entire thing unfolds. Baker Mayfield's going to be their quarterback next year.
Yeah.
Njoku's going to be there. Chubb, Hunt. They got that offensive line down in there. I mean, they got a squad. Are they going to be able to do anything? Who knows? Chris Godwin allegedly going to be franchise tagged for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, that has not been officialized. That has just been hearsay. That has been rumors on the internet. We all know. I mean, Vince McMahon was supposed to fist fight me in here on the internet. That's what they said. Aaron Rodgers was supposed to come on last week on Tuesday and tell us what he was doing. Yep. That is what the internet said. The internet now says Chris Godwin probably getting franchise tagged. That's via Tyler Dragon.
Wow.
That's a Tyler Dragon. I'm not questioning the Dragon. Bucks are expected to franchise tag wide receiver Chris Godwin before Tuesday's deadline. Per source, Chris Godwin obviously got injured this year. He was playing injured, but was a massive piece of their offense. Absolutely incredibly talented and very tough. A lot of teams would have wanted Chris Godwin. I know a lot of Patriots fans were pumped for him. Yep. Colts fans were pumped for him. Packers fans are pumped for him. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers franchise tag him, lock him down for at least another year down there. They got some salary cap stuff they have to do and a lot of unrestricted free agents on that team. Godwin appears to be staying in Tampa Bay. Who's going to be his quarterback? Nobody knows.
What about the rest of the roster? Like, who else is up in the air right now that they have to make a decision on? A bunch, right?
A bunch.
Yeah. Jensen.
Yeah. There's like literally 13 or 14 guys, I think, that were starters that they have to figure out what's going on for the future. Tom Brady, he could come back. We'll figure out a way to pay him anytime, says Bruce Arians. If he wants to come out of retirement, he's playing for us. We'll figure out how to pay him. That'll be interesting to watch that. Bruce Arians said on the record, you want Tom Brady out of his Tampa Bay contract? Give me 5 number ones. Fuck. Easy. Fine, give me 5 number ones. You want Tom Brady? You can get 5. You can get him right out of Tampa. You give him 5 number ones. This franchise tag, next 27 hours, I guess, or 26 and a half hours is going to be fascinating because with the salary cap going up, that means the franchise tag numbers are only going to go up for the next couple of years. Who do you want to keep around? Who do you not want to keep around? Who do you want to shape a team around? I mean, it's very, very interesting. And this is a big part of, roster construction here. Who are you designating not allowed to leave as somebody that got franchise tagged before, this is a pivotal part of a team's success.
Yeah. Okay. Do we know the reason why the franchise tag exists? Like, why did they put it in play?
Well, it's because they wanted to fuck the players out of a free agency period. They wanted.
But is it like a buffer year, basically? Okay, we're not exactly sure. We can't work out a long-term deal with this guy.
No, I don't want you to be a free agent yet. We're not 100% sure if we want to give you a long-term deal, or we don't know what the proper price is, but we do know that other teams want you. We want to kind of figure it out still. So you can only do it now 2 times. You used to be able to do it like 3, 4, 5 times. I think Vinatieri got franchise tagged 3 times.
Damn.
I think in a row. And his agent just so happened to be the same agent as somebody else. There was some little, there's a little, and then as soon as he was able to become a free agent, it was like, Packers want you, Colts want you, this team, like everybody on earth wanted Adam Vinatieri. The franchise tag for a long, long time, including now, has been something that's been hated by players. Absolutely hated by players because it's robbing a player of a free agency period where they can go and get that long-term wealth, that bag, and the team basically controls the future. Now, guys are still getting guaranteed money. It's a lot of money. It's the average of the top 5 salaries at the position minus any of the bonuses, which does end up kicking you right in the taint most times. But yeah, the franchise tag has been hated by everybody. AJ, did you ever deal with any of that, or was every deal kind of smooth for you?
I never dealt with a franchise tag situation, but I believe Charles Woodson was tagged a few times. I don't know if he was tagged in Green Bay, but before Green Bay, I think, or after. Like he's made some money being franchise tagged too. If you can do that multiple years.
So Julius Peppers in Carolina, I think he was tagged like 3 times. Kirk Cousins was tagged like 2-3 times. Vinatieri was tagged like 3 times. They're saying Lamar Jackson will just get tagged 2 times. He's got 1 year left, and then he got 2 tags potentially. So he has 3 years before he becomes a free agent is how everybody's viewing it.
Don't you think he would grow disgruntled with the organization if he continues to get tagged and doesn't get a long-term deal?
Well, they're saying they don't know if he wants a long-term deal because allegedly he has not broached the Baltimore Ravens about a long-term deal yet. Him and his mom, he represents himself alongside his mother. And Pro Football Talks Mike Florio puts out, and by the way, Florio, lawyer, been around the NFL a long time. Seems like he does report a lot of negative stuff, but the NFL is filled with a lot of potential negative stuff. Mike Florio says Lamar Jackson's failure to engage the Ravens on a long-term deal is strategic or misguided. So that's two very different.
Sure.
Very different. Which one does Florio think it is?
Well, it's either strategic. I think he's torn on it. He's like, this is either an incredibly smart move or he's misguided. Regardless, the 2019 NFL MVP is 3 years away from the potentially becoming an unrestricted free agent and picking his next team. He's talking about with the 2 franchise tags, which is the limit now after the new CBA. You can only get franchise tagged twice, even though players were trying to fight for 0 franchise tags.
So they're saying, Florio's saying because of this, you could make the assumption that Lamar is not happy in Baltimore. He doesn't want to stay there.
No, I think business-wise, I don't know. I have no idea.
He wants to get to free agency a couple years down the road when the cap's even higher.
Yeah, and also he just was on the shop and he said what he learned from LeBron James is he wants to be a champion and he wants to become a billionaire. So he's got money, business.
Sounds good.
I like that him and his mom represent himself. By the way, every other agent would have somehow got him believing he should have moved to wide receiver. They would have told him you should potentially think about becoming a slot wide receiver. Him and his mom steadfast on, no, I'm a quarterback. And if you look back at the combine interviews for Lamar Jackson, I didn't see any NFL Network clips of this, of them asking him, don't you think you should not be a quarterback? You should try to do wide receiver drills or you should try to do this. And I'm a quarterback. I'm a quarterback. I'm a quarterback. And is he ever? Dude's completely changed the fucking game over there for Baltimore. I wonder what the future holds for Lamar. I wonder what the strategy is. There has to be some sort of idea. But if he's just thinking about guaranteed money for the next few years and then I'll test free agency in a couple of years, I guess that's not a bad idea either. Kirk Cousins did the same exact thing. And Will Compton said he was just saying, I'll take this guaranteed money. I'll take this guaranteed money and then I'll get a big old bag. Maybe Lamar's thinking the same exact thing.
Yeah. Do you think for quarterbacks it's a little bit different? I mean, obviously the threat of injury and being worried about that. But if you're going to play quarterback and you play the way he does, like that threat of injury is kind of always there. If he gets tagged twice, I mean, Cousins did too. He's not an MVP, and he ended up getting a massive bag somewhere else. Like, you would think that Lamar will make all that money if they franchise tag him twice, and then he's going to get paid by somebody.
3 years is a long time, by the way. That is a long time. Yes. That's a lot of guaranteed money that could potentially come with 2 franchise tags, so good for Lamar. But Lamar has to be looking at this quarterback market right now. Mitchell Trubisky is going to get north of $10 million a year to be a starting quarterback. That's the conversation piece right now. And that even brought up, and that's via Josh Norris, teams are openly discussing whether Trubisky gets $10 million or more annually on his new deal. That his name is a hot one, is not manufactured. It's very real. Ryan Fitzpatrick-like money for Mitch. Carolina, Pittsburgh, the Commanders, New York Giants, and Denver listed. The Commanders have been listed in every conversation, as has Denver and Pittsburgh at this point. Carolina has danced with a couple different quarterback strategies. New York Giants thinking about him is interesting because Daboll comes from Buffalo, where Trubisky just was. $10 million doesn't seem like that bad of money for a starting quarterback in my eyes. Like, if you think Mitchell Trubisky is going to be a starter, you're paying him $10 million, fucking get him in here. We're paying Jacoby $20 million. Sure. We're paying Jacoby Brissett $20 million here to be the starter. So I don't think like that's that big of a deal that they're making it on the internet. Like, people are saying they're going to pay Trubisky $10 million. It's like, well, he's obviously going to be a starting quarterback then. If he's starting quarterback, $10 million is very, 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 very cheap. But if you look at the rest of the quarterbacks in free agency, Gumpy brought up, he said, what do you think Baker Mayfield would get if he was a free agent right now? And I'm like, that's fascinating.
Hell of a year to be a free agent.
Hell of a year, but also, I mean, Mike, I'm looking at it for the Colts here.
Yeah.
You know?
Who do you want?
Huh?
Who do you want? What do you mean?
Aaron Rodgers. What are you talking about? Aaron what?
If you can't, if Aaron doesn't come to Indy, who do you think should come to Indy?
Give me Jimmy G, dude. I want Jimmy G just because he's a winner. Now, I don't know if he's going to end up being better than Carson Wentz. And everybody can go right to the Carson Wentz stats of 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That means you didn't watch the games. Yes. He threw 20 picks that were dropped this season in 3 different games alone. So I don't even want to get into that. Carson Wentz is a great quarterback. There is times where Carson Wentz is the guy. But then there is just this roll of the dice. I don't give a damn about the ball, my body, the franchise, the program, the city. That happened too much. It happens too often to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback in my eyes. Just in my eyes. This is my personal opinion. I don't know if this is anybody else's opinion. Everybody says I buried Carson Wentz. I don't think I buried Carson Wentz. I literally just said I think he's a great quarterback. I think I think he's insanely tough. Too tough almost. I think he's almost too tough. I wish his body was more fragile because then maybe he would learn to give up on a play as opposed to throwing a 0-yard pick six, against a division opponent when you toss the ball from your right hand to your left hand to throw the thing away. In my eyes, with the way the team is built, you just need a steady-handed quarterback to kind of,
doesn't it sound like the Colts kind of agree with you with all the comments that have come from them, where they're kind of evaluating, we're going to do what's best for the team? It sounds like they're trying to find a way to move on from Carson when it would really, really help them financially, especially if they could keep him and he was their starting guy and they felt really comfortable with him going forward.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking because that's a real – Chris Ballard was on with Dawkins here locally for like an hour. I didn't get a chance to hear it because we were in the middle of our show. I will have to sit back and listen to that and hear how he talks. But their mission has been, in the way Fowler described it, was coy, which is, I think, a very solid way to describe it because they have said, hey, we're going to make the best decision for the Colts. We've talked to Carson. Hey, listen, we talked to Carson. We're going to make the best decision for the Colts. Carson is bracing to stay in Indianapolis, wants to come back, play another year. I understand because the team is incredible, probably wants another bite at the apple. COVID year, didn't get really a chance to probably learn as much early, got hurt in training camp, so he didn't really get to be in there. Maybe I'm misjudging him, misguiding him, but I would think Irsay and the boys up at the top are thinking to themselves, we're not going through another 17 games of watching this guy try to kill himself every play, right? That can't happen. And that's really the only drawback of Carson. It's like if he learned how to, maybe, let's get that guy some fucking some weed.
Yeah. Ooh,
let's get Carson just to chill. Listen.
Smart.
Before the games?
Just
or
chill
what?
out. Yeah, just because I feel, and he won't smoke, obviously.
Devil's lettuce, no way.
Mm-hmm. It's not devil's lettuce. It's actually God's grass, okay? Because it's grown from the earth. So I don't need to hear this whole hippie smoking devil lettuce narrative that you are. It's actually God's grass, okay? From the beginning of time, coming up through earth that was created by God, right? That's what everybody believes.
If you pitched it like that to him, he'd probably be open to it.
Because I think it would chill him out a little bit and be like, oh, okay, next play, man, not that big of a deal. Let me throw this thing away. It's just every play is just heart-wrenching. And with the team that we have not making the playoffs, like that's tough. That's bad. I don't know who it goes on. I don't know who's weighing or who's wearing that. I assume Frank isn't necessarily thrilled that the team that is that talented didn't make the playoffs. I assume Carson isn't exactly thrilled that a team that's that talented didn't make the playoffs. But I would assume that Jim Irsay, when he's walking with his dog Drake, getting onto their 767 planes, like, I got to go to these league meetings and tell everybody why my team fucking stinks. I'm not doing it again. It just feels like that's where they're at. But there might not be any other options out there. Literally might not be any other. Mitch Trubisky's allegedly going to Pittsburgh.
So
Mitchell Trubisky's allegedly going to Pittsburgh. Jimmy G's potentially going to New Orleans, which means what's going on with Jameis, but also all these reports might be fucking full of shit. We have no idea about anything at this moment, AJ.
Yeah, how does anyone really know? But going back to Trubisky quick, like, I understand a team taking a shot on him, paying him, what, $10, $12 million a year? That's not a ton to pay a guy that's a starting quarterback. And then all of a sudden, what if he becomes your starting quarterback and he – like the ceiling on Mitch, I guess we don't really know how good he can truly be. We've seen flashes of it. So you bring him in, hope he's the guy. If not, cool. Thank you for your time here, and you go give a shot somewhere else.
So that'll be an incentive-based contract probably for Mitchell. And if he gets in there, like, hey, you'll get $10 million, and if you start, he'll probably go up to like 20.
Yeah, just or even like a couple-year deal, and after the first year, if he comes out and kills it, you rip it up and give him a big deal.
Yeah, that's what NFL teams always do. You know, because allegedly the Packers and Aaron talked last year, and they were like, yeah, you want to trade it, we'll do it for you. And then now everybody's coming out. Why would the Packers trade him away for anything other than blah, blah, blah? I was like, well, allegedly, you're reporting last year is that they made a deal that it would be like, yeah, if you want to move on, you move on. But now they're saying, well, he's not going to move on unless it's a good deal. The Packers don't have to agree to it. It's like, who knows, dude? Can't really trust anything, I guess, these days. And this is the off season. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm already sick of it. dude. I can't take it.
Isn't it? Well, we're getting cool. We got some pro days that are going to open up soon, right? We can talk about some pro days.
Did you know the pro days start 2 days after the combine ends? I had no idea. They start tomorrow. Pro days literally start tomorrow, same day as the franchise tag deadline at 4 o'clock. I thought it was like a couple weeks afterwards. I didn't know they went right into it. You could see why coaches, are probably not going to combines as much anymore. The pro days, I get a chance to literally chat, put them through my own workout, give them a test, talk
to every coach on their staff too, everyone that has come in contact with those players. You can talk to the trainers. Like, that's where you learn a lot about them.
Yeah, college pro days seemed like they're going to get much more important over the next few years. Feels like that.
And you see how those guys interact with their current teammates, some of the guys that are still on the team, some of the older guys. Like, you could just see them interact in their element and say, okay, how do other people view this player?
Yeah, Mac Jones. Remember, he did 2 pro days. The second one was a little bit more athletic, Mac.
Got Devontae Smith to run some routes because he wasn't going to do anything at his pro day, too.
Oh, yeah, then he was laughing with the guy in the back while he was on air.
Yeah, just chatting it up.
He's so cool.
Catching passes.
Oh, he's so athletic.
Man, he's so good at football.
No bull.
He's so young, too.
Allegedly, the Patriots are looking at Robbie Anderson out of Carolina.
Ooh.
Carolina looking for a quarterback. Bill Belichick's going to trade Mac Jones for Robbie Anderson.
Wow. Right? Straight up.
I think there's a chance we might even, throw in someone else, too. Maybe like a lineman. McCaffrey, yeah. Who knows? Why not? Who says no?
The Patriots are getting rid of J.C. Jackson. This comes 1 year after they let Stephon Gilmore out the door. 2 of the best corners in the league come from New England. They're both going to be on the road, allegedly, potentially.
Yeah, definitely. And the Gilmore thing also, similar to J.C. Jackson, both voiced how they would want to stay in New England but decided not to. Hey, I'm sure Bill's got a plan. He knows more about football.
Why would you not tag him? Why did they not tag J.C. Jackson?
I have no idea. I thought that was like the most obvious move that we were going to make, but obviously Bill's, he's got something going on back there. I'd be very nervous if I was a fan of any other team than the Patriots.
Well, the interesting thing is the stats are coming out, or not stats, I'm sorry, sources are coming out and saying that Josh McDaniels, because he went to the Raiders, because he went to the Raiders, he took a bunch of staff from the offensive side of the ball. So look for Belichick to maybe be offensive coordinator.
Let's go.
The intrigue deepens on the New England Patriots' approach to offense without a true play caller. There's sort of an open belief league-wide that Coach Bill, so this is the rest of the league, league-wide that Coach Bill Belichick could call the plays or at the very least have more involvement in the offense. Yes. He's involved in everything, to be sure, but he could really dig in here. There's also no major rush, so he doesn't need to force play calling duties in early March. 4 offensive coaches must be replaced after former offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels took a Patriots crew with him to Las Vegas. That's via Jeremy Fowler. So obviously New England folks aren't happy that, Josh McDaniels pillaged the New England Patriots coaching staff for his crew. That happens in the NFL. Everybody knows that. But the first, real thing coming out of New England's camp is that he's looking at Robbie Anderson. Maybe Bill Belichick has completely turned his attention to the offensive side of the ball. Maybe Bill Belichick's like, all right, fucking Steve, you figure it out on defense. I need to get this offense right because we have, we've been good, haven't been great. We need more weapons. Mac, what do you like doing? What if Bill Belichick is over there with the play calling sheet? What if fucking Bill Belichick's and Mac Jones are, we need to spread all these noble.
Yeah.
What if that's happening? I guess that's the only thing he hasn't
Has
accomplished.
Bill ever called? He's never called offensive plays, has he?
I don't. It hasn't been reported that he's called offensive plays. I assume he's always been in the offensive strategery game.
Yes.
Because remember, him and Tom Brady would have that meeting every single week where they sit down and go through everything. But if he's turning his attention to the offensive side of the ball, look out! Ain't that right, Paul?
Yeah, that is dangerous for the.
And maybe that's why he's like, JC, I don't need JC. I need more money on the offensive side because that's where I'm fucking.
And that's where
plays.
they spent kind of last year during free agency. He saw this coming.
Bingo.
I'm going to prove myself as an offensive coach, and I'm going to make the defense stink, and then they'll be like, oh, the defense stinks when Bill's not calling the defense.
Oh, so he's better than his kid, Steve.
Yeah,
that would make more. So then he doesn't get.
Steve, I need you to
take
take this one. I need you to eat this one.
All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back in 4 minutes with more bullshit.
Hell yeah.
It's just what we're hearing. We're observing and reporting. That's all.
Good movie.
Bill on offense. NFL's so fucked, dude.
You guys are going to have 6 fullbacks.
6 fullbacks. Probably go 8 linemen up front. Might have 15 guys on the field at once.
He'll get away with it somehow, too.
Exactly.
Because there'll be some asterisk in the rule book. It was like, well, if 5 of the guys are over 350 pounds, they only count as one guy.
Yeah, and he can tell Mac what he sees on the defense while he's still in his ear.
Oh. Speaking of weight, we got to talk about the combine. Jordan Davis is my new favorite football player.
Yes.
6'6", 341, runs a 4.8 or something like that. Jumps 10.2 or something like that. Absolute superstar. The Young Bucks are flying around. Bunch of 4.2s, 4.3s, the number of guys that ran under 4.4, most ever. We talked about this last week with Daniel Jeremiah. I just gave my observation that it felt like each year, it's not that dudes are getting faster, it feels like more dudes are just faster. The depth of speed is at a much higher rate because of how much we know about the body, techniques, training. I don't think these guys are just housing beers anymore like a lot of the old guys used to. Now we got...
No, not as much. A lot more things that they can work on from a young age, too. I think that's why there's more and more of them. The depth of speed is what's crazy to me.
Well, and the content. Like on the internet, you working on getting faster is like good content. So it like kind of is a part of almost like everyday life. Like, oh, I'm going to go to work. People like watching it and it makes me better. It's a really cool time to be a great athlete. And the Combine says the number of players running sub 4.4 throughout the years. This is via Alex Kozora. 2017, there was 7 guys. 2018, there was 12 guys that ran sub 4.4. If you used to run a 4.4, you were considered fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2019, 13 guys ran sub 4.4. 2020, 12 guys ran sub 4.4. This year, 31 dudes sub 4.4.
Damn.
Speed kills matchups. Tom McMahon used to scream that everywhere. There's a lot of teams looking around thinking, oh,
get faster.
We got some guys that can fly. Can they play football? They're at the Combine, so they got to be at least a little bit good. But will they be able to take that next NFL step while having that speed? Hopefully. It's impressive. I watched it all weekend. I'm like, God damn, God damn, God damn, God damn. That's all I was thinking. And then I had to think to myself, but come back down to earth, dude. 90% of these dudes ain't gonna fucking pan out.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's real. We're back in 4 minutes on the phones. 1-833-4-McAfee. We'll see you then. Don't break the table, obviously.
I just break shit.
Sorry, man. Somebody came sprinting behind the barrier and tried to spear him.
I fucking dare somebody.
Oh, no!
I dare
And next, ass kicking.
What?
Saudi Arabia.
What?
Riyadh.
What?
Taking a jet plane.
What?
All the way there.
What?
All the way back.
What?
On the way back.
What?
WWE champion.
What?
Hey, you
Hell yeah!
Guys destroyed our shit. Steven in Nashville enough. What's going on, Steven?
Hey, hello? Pat? You guys can hear me?
This is the worst call we've ever had, Steven.
My God. So mean.
Steven.
Hello?
Steven,
Yeah.
it's the worst call we've ever had. So much dead air there.
Yo, Pat, can you hear me?
Yeah, keep it going.
Hello?
Know what you say?
I was going to hit him again.
What?
Yo, Pat?
No,
Pat? Pat? Hey, Pat, can you hear me?
Steven does not deserve this. Steven, what's going on, dude? How's going on, Steven?
Sorry, your phone would chop.
Yo, Pat McAfee, can you hear me?
Steven! Steven, you there?
Pat, can you hear me? Hello?
Is it a cup and a string?
Steven!
Yo, Pat! Pat, can you hear me? Hello?
Steve!
Pat!
Hey, there you are. Hey, what's
Hello?
going on, Steve? Hey, Steven, sorry about that. I think we're having connection issues. What's going on, man?
Hey, sorry, man. I didn't know if that was me or if you were trying to talk to another guy. And then I didn't hear you guys.
Steve!
Yeah. Hello?
Oh, we lost him again, I think. Shit.
Pat!
Can you?
No.
Pat, can you hear me?
Steve, hey, Steve, there you are, Steve.
Pat!
Steve,
Pat!
hey!
Pat!
Steve!
Pat!
Steve!
Oh, can you hear me?
Steve!
Hey, are you guys messing around? Can you guys hear me?
It's long. It's very long. Yeah, Smart. It's fine. That's very smart. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here. Today's show is presented by Cash App. Cash App is the easiest way to send, spend, and save your money. It's the best finance app going, and that's why we're working with them for all of our giveaways.
Hell yeah.
Makes it a lot easier, and it's always a nice one-stop shop for your finances. You can even buy pieces of any stock or Bitcoin, which I heard is
Really? Going back up.
with as little as $1. If you aren't on Cash App yet, go ahead and use code McAfee for $15 as soon as you sign up. That's code MCAFEE for a free $15 at sign up. Terms do apply. I don't know what the terms are, but at the end, terms do apply.
Free $15 though, not bad.
Yeah, what are the terms that do apply?
That's a good question. Maybe they
Listen,
take
you're
like
gonna have to check
$5.
out the terms that do apply, but we appreciate Cash App. It's been fantastic for our giveaways. Been able to handle them like this, AJ.
I know it's helped out a lot, right? Isn't it? Like, you give away so much money, Cash App stepped in, didn't they?
Yeah, CFO Phil is very pumped, I think, about the Cash App thing, because we used to have to go through 3 different platforms giving away money. And, you know, we used to offer people who won the opportunity to tell us where they want their cash at, you know, and, you know, people were always very grateful when they won.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't make it difficult at all.
No.
Easy peasy. You know. Can you write me a check? Actually, I don't want to download Cash App or PayPal or Venmo or anything like that. I just want a check or whatever. Yeah, no problem, pal. We'll fucking mail you a check. Across the globe. I mean,
that should be your terms, though. That honestly, you should have terms as well. Like, hey, this is how it works. This is how you're getting paid. Do not ask to differ from anything else.
Well, that's why this is very nice, because now we have an actual legitimate reason to be like, we do it on Cash App. Just need your cash tag. Let's keep it moving. And more giveaways will continue to take place. I love it. I enjoy it. Like, I don't know why people don't do more. It's so much fun. It is so much fun just to give away money.
Like Santa Claus, right?
Well, kind of, I guess, yeah. But Santa Claus has people, those elves just work.
Exactly. Tires.
Nonstop, and then just kind of give away other stuff, then back at it. You know what I mean?
Keep making toys.
You don't think they want to be there?
Oh, no. We have some breaking news out of New England. Kyle Van Noy has been released from the New England Patriots.
No.
A decision with salary cap roots is moving on for the versatile Van Noy, creates just under $5 million in cap space. Van Noy can now sign with another team right away. This is via Field Yates. The Miami Dolphins contingency is probably happy to see this. They don't have to pay a guy in the division to beat them anymore. Van Noy, friend of the show, going to be moving on to a new team. Hey, Kyle, good luck.
Good luck, Kyle.
Are we in cap casualty week?
Hour 3 is on the other side. We'll see you then. Nailed it. Sorry about it. We had 2 seconds there.
That's on me. I should realize. Are we in cap casualty week?
Is now the time?
Is this?
Because we had Brinkstruck week, and before that was cap casualty week.
Well, it's Massacre week.
Yeah, it is.
Free agency starts when?
How many days? 9 days.
Put the map back up, or put the calendar back up.
Next week?
Tampering is 2 days
16th.
before, though. No, yeah, tampering is a week.
Why do we have Central Time? Who gives a fuck?
That's a good question.
What's good? Hey, good
What
for the
is that?
Patriots
What-
doing this now, though.
Hey, Dirty, this is an incredible graphic.
There's Eastern time above.
I should have seen. I should have seen that. I should have seen that earlier, but
You might be jet lagged over there.
Dirty. No, what Dirty does, he has to do his research. So he looks for like an article or whatever. So whoever wrote said article that had the research was probably a Central Division team.
Yeah.
Yes, 16th. So what's that?
At least they did it now. That helps him, though. Now he's a free agent before free agency starts, so they can kind of legally look around and try to feel where he wants to go instead of all of a sudden, bam, free agency starts and the market is flooded.
He could pound the pavement a little bit. Pound the pavement.
So
Hey,
I guess
who,
next week is the week that people get cut before free agency, right?
so next week is Massacre Week.
No, I think this week is because isn't it the legal tampering day when it actually starts, when teams are agreeing to terms and stuff like that?
I don't know if we can handle a 2-week massacre week. That's a lot.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is
Well,
it
that would
this
still,
week?
that would
it's a
still
week
be a
from
week from today, right?
Today, yeah. So this week, I think
Is it March 7th?
Yeah.
Tampering starts 14th?
Yes.
So is right now, are we in Massacre Week?
I think this
we're
is
in it.
Massacre Week. Yeah.
Oh, Kyle Van Noy.
Miss Kyle.
Oh yeah, 14th is.
No. We should add the tampering period onto that thing. If you want to go Central Time, Eastern Time, Pacific Time, whatever it is, Dirty. But man, we are in Massacre Week. Don't like it, especially the first massacre.
Oh no.
Is our guy.
God, Kyle.
Man,
Miss you, Kyle.
Do you think he knew it was coming?
I doubt it. Right? I don't know.
I don't see why.
Yeah, they are pretty. They're pretty tight-lipped in New England about what they're going to
Look
do.
at
So
this.
maybe he didn't know.
Bill's already making the defense worse. He knows.
Yeah, Bill's moving his attention to the offense. Let's go ahead and get rid of JC, get rid of Kyle Van Noy. Steve, fucking figure it out. Do you know how much money I spent last year, dude? Figure it out. I'm focusing on the offense. We're getting Robbie Anderson out of Carolina. Got 2 tight ends. Got Mac Jones. I mean, we are really. Oh my God! What if Bill Belichick's like? Let's see if this kid can really make. I had to coach a defense with no money in it. So, what if he puts a cap on the defense?
Oh,
here's the amount of money I'm willing to spend.
They're already $10 million over the defensive
We're
cap.
getting rid of Kyle.
Yeah,
getting rid of JC. Oh man, the Patriots. Are you guys dead?
no.
Oh no!
I think we're dead.
You guys lose Kyle Van Noy. You guys are dead.
Yeah, that is true. Kyle is a very big part of our defense, but I'm sure Bill's got a plan.
That's what you've said every single time.
Are they?
And
Hey,
he
are they
always
legit
does.
contenders to win it all though? Like the Patriots? Do people seriously? I don't know. I'm curious.
Belichick is the only thing, right?
Uh-huh.
You just assume every game that the Patriots go into, you just assume
they'll find a way to win.
It's going to be a tough out. It's going to be a tough out with the Patriots. The Patriots are currently sitting at plus 3,000, which is very high. I think the fact that they have a quarterback in place is something that the sports books look at and say, like, okay, got to give them at least a little bit of respect. Mac Jones is their quarterback in place. The Packers have moved from plus 850 to plus 950. I wonder if that's because of Mike Silver's reporting and Rappaport's reporting and Fowler's reporting that maybe Aaron won't be there. They have to protect themselves still, though, just in case Rodgers does come back. The Bills still the favorite at plus 700.
Yeah.
That could potentially affect the Patriots' odds as well because they're in the same division.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I don't know if we're legitimate contenders now. It's definitely going to depend on what we do with the, free more cap space rather. And there's still a couple other moves we could get up to like 17 million more than we are right now. So, I mean, who knows? This might be a good sign for the draft, though. I assume they're just going to go heavy defense.
Oh, give me Jordan Davis.
Yeah, probably trade back.
Hey, give me Jordan Davis in Indianapolis, by the way. What position? Who cares? Just put him on the team. Him at fullback?
I'd put him at gunner a little bit.
Listen, I'm about it. Listen, I put him over there. I'll just hit a fucking fair catch to this guy's side. How you doing? Keep moving. 6'6", 341, moving. By the way, casual. It didn't look like he was in pain. The knees, the ankles. When you're talking about that big of a body, you got to assume the joints have taken a beating for a long time. So normally the knees are sore, the ankles are sore, the feet are sore because they're having to hold up this Goliath of a human. Smooth, casual 4'8". I mean, casual.
Yeah.
Then when he jumped, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to fall. He leapt, moved his feet like he's a corner, stuck the landing, longest in the history of anybody over 300 pounds. Not just over 300, by the way, 41 pounds over 300 pounds. Freak athlete. You can figure out a place to put him on the field.
Yeah, I would say I don't know if he did or not, but I'm guessing this guy was a stud basketball player too. Growing up and in high school. How good his feet are, how athletic, how well he moves. Yeah, this guy is
same measurables
absolute
as
freak.
Mike,
I'm telling you.
What did you say?
Zion's taller than this, right?
Yeah, it's a couple inches.
6'8" or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He said same measurables as Zion. I mean, a little rude. Mike Renner, former Bachelor contestant and of Pro Football Focus scout, he said A.J. Hawk's combine is a mind blower. This dude had a 40-inch vert.
What?
Kidding me?
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Hour 3 on this Monday, March 7th, 2022. Darius Butler will join us in a few moments. This hour begins right now.
Yeah.
AJ Hawk to my left. This dude jumped 40 inches, ran a 4. What'd you run, 4.4?
I don't know. They never gave me numbers really. The combine. Dead serious.
You ran like a 3.683 cone drill, which I don't know what's good and what's not good, but your stats were insane from the combine. So good. This guy ended up being a 5th overall pick.
Holy shit.
Absolute superstar, stud, a Super Bowl champion. The boys are here. Ty Schmidt, Boston Connor, Tone Diggs. Von Miller's making some waves with his Instagram account. Obviously, he was traded out of nowhere to the Los Angeles Rams. He goes on and wins a Super Bowl with the Rams. He is now a free agent, and he is now teasing a potential return to the Denver Broncos. In his little cloud thing, he basically says, what number should I wear, 58 or 40 in my return to the Denver Broncos? Is Von Miller going back to the Mile High City? Von Miller was taken by surprise that he was traded to Los Angeles, loved Denver, and then he also tweets, I kind of want that old thing back. 5280. He said he was playing for DT. Remember, a good friend of his who passed away was representing him in the Super Bowl. Got a taste of what Los Angeles was. Obviously, he, had done Dancing with the Stars and was known as a global superstar. Maybe it was him walking over the human poop all day, every day to get to practice in Los Angeles. Maybe he did win the Super Bowl and then think to himself, okay, how can I get back to Denver because they got a new coaching staff? I love this city. My house is still there. The Halloween party. I don't know if it'll be as big of a banger in Los Angeles. I don't know what Von Miller's thinking, but I do know the rest of the world is thinking, oh shit, Von Miller's going to be a Bronco. That is the narrative right now with what he's posting. Is this all for leverage? Is this all for happiness? I guess we have to TBD, but that's what free agency period's all about, AJ Hawk.
Well, don't you think the new head coach, Nathaniel Hackett, comes over from Green Bay, if he knows that Von Miller is open to a comeback, I'm thinking he's like, hey, guys, should we at least kick the tires on Von and see if we can work out a deal here to get him a couple-year deal, bring him back? He seems to want to be here.
Hey, General George Payton, what the fuck happened with Von Miller? Like, you guys just trade him out? He didn't even know? Like, he didn't ask for the trade? No, he loves it here. You guys just said, get the hell out of town. Well, Vic Fangio actually. Fangio actually, said that, because that defense is very good, by the way, with and without Von Miller. Said he didn't need him. We're moving on. Like, they called. We thought maybe it was the right move. And Hackett's like, well, call him back. Yeah. Has he sold his house yet? No, it's like $30 million. Ain't nobody buying that. Call his ass back. Let's see if we can get him back in the fold. Now he's posting publicly that he maybe wants to go back to Denver. That's good news for the Broncos and for Hackett, I'd assume.
Was this the plan all along? Like, hey, Von, we don't have a quarterback. We're not going to win a Super Bowl this season. We'll trade you we know you're a free agent. We'll trade you this to a team. We'll get a second and third round pick. You just come back next season, win-win for everybody.
Von, your talent far exceeds what this team is going to accomplish this year. Since we love you so much and you love us so much, we're going to let you go. But real love is when you come back.
That's right.
Bingo.
Go win. Go flap those wings. Go be a peacock and fly in Los Angeles and win another Super Bowl. And then we'll get some picks out of it. We'll come back. We'll sign you next year. New coaching staff. Vic Fangio was the one that kind of wanted you out of here. He'll be out of here. You'll be here much longer than him, even though you're going to play for another team. Who knows? I guess those are all conversations that are going to take place because this is very odd. He was gone for what, 10 games?
Barely anything. And maybe, hey, if that's the case, if they've been playing this all along, which obviously that's not reality probably, but they would want him to come back and take a hometown discount too at the same time, I would think. Hey, man, we let you go, let you get your ring, and we got picks, we're good to go. Now we're back. Let's just shave a few million off your asking price.
And this is why you never burn it down on your way out.
Especially if you really enjoy it. He really enjoyed his time there too.
Yeah, unless you want to though too. Like, if you want to burn it down. But if not, like business says, hey, probably what comes around goes around. This is the latest case. This might all be leverage too. We don't know. This might all be leverage. We have no idea. I respect Von Miller, the football player. I respect Von Miller, the businessman. I respect Von Miller, the person. This is very interesting, and the entire world is now chatting about Von Miller going back to Denver. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, sure.
I'd love to see him back there. You know what I mean?
What about Indy? Don't you think he'd look good at Indy?
We need a pass rusher. Come on out here, dude. There's a $14 million house, half the downtown area. You got your own lake. You can, you can do all the hunting and fishing you
Smoke
want.
Stewart's house, $30 million.
Boom. Dallas house got a waterfall and a fishing tank inside of it. Now, $30 million seems to be a lot of money for Indiana. I don't think anybody's going to fucking buy that smoke, but I did see that whole thing. Maybe get Vaughn to Indianapolis.
There was a report on NFL.com, too, that said the way he played, with the Rams, that he's going to command potentially $15 to $20 million on the open market somewhere. Like, do you think he'd take a hometown discount unless he's ring chase? I mean, it's not like he goes back to Denver and
if Aaron Rodgers was in Denver, he'd take a discount.
Right, that changes things, obviously. But
that's why I think Von Miller's potentially thinking about it.
Was he at the wedding?
Was he at the wedding?
I cannot confirm or deny if he was there.
Oh, he was there.
Oh shit! Is that real?
I did not. If Vaughn was there, I didn't see him. No.
Oh, okay. You were being a little coy there. I didn't know what the deal was. Because imagine if he was there, they're just, the officiants have a little scotch.
Takatari's just taking a few pass sets before he goes up in the altar. Hey, show me what you got, Vaughn.
Hey, Vaughn, let's talk about this. All right. I mean, you're taking my quarterback back to Denver, but at least tell me, how do I stop that? How Takatari look? Did he look healthy? Did the knee look good?
Yeah, he looked great. Looked really good.
Did he take any pass sets on the dance floor? Did he dance at all? Was there any weight on the knee?
He looks like he's moving around great. His family is very good dancers as well.
Oh,
what?
Okay. Hey, I heard that family is awesome.
His whole family, as you would say, they are electric. Two of his brothers gave speeches. Unbelievable. They're a special family, man. They're fun.
So maybe Von Miller is thinking, if Aaron Rodgers is going to Denver, I will go right. My house is still there. Mm-hmm. My foundation's probably there. He's probably
just room. Couldn't they move in together?
They could.
Maybe. Do you think he's doing Pancha Karma or?
I don't know if Von's into that or not.
Might be.
Maybe Hollywood. I don't know.
Yeah,
could be,
learn
yeah.
some new stuff.
All right, I'm going to drink these parasites, and they're going to get inside. And once these parasites get inside, they're going to want to get out. And they're going to grab everything inside of me, and they're exiting however they can. North, south, out, however they can. 12 days, everything in here. See you later. And Vaughn's like, I love it. I love it. I'll absolutely be a part of that entire thing.
What percentage of the league does punch climber? Like 50?
I would say, I don't
Yeah,
know.
probably.
I think there's.
I think the league most guys either do the old Poncha Karma situation or they go to the Nile where that thing swims up your pee hole. I hear that's a really big performance.
Oh, yeah. That would help a lot.
Shout out.
Shout out to that thing. Swims up the pee hole. I saw that in River Monsters. I don't know if that's an actual thing.
That's what they say. Don't pee. Make sure you don't pee in there because they're attracted to urine. They'll swim right up that sucker.
Well, I think it's the heat, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have we talked to anybody that has had something swim up their pee hole?
Well, I talked to River Monsters guy. Well, he was talking to me actually. I didn't talk.
But he was telling you about it though. He didn't show you like, hey, this is what happened.
Well, yeah, and I didn't get to ask any follow-ups either because he was on TV and I was in my bed at like 3 a.m. But I did have a lot of follow-ups. It sounded like it's the heat. As you do that, they kind of recognize the heat and they swim towards the heat. And
We need to talk to somebody though.
Tracks
We need to
tits.
if that's happened, we need to talk to somebody. Tell them to call in if it's happened to you.
If you're the River Monster guy, call in. If you've been in the Nile and you've got something up your pee hole, call in. 1-833-4 McAfee on the 5-hour energy phone line. That's what the 5-hour energy phone line is all about. I still don't know if Colby Covington called us last week.
Yeah.
He did get the win, though, Colby.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Hey, that's not over. They still don't like each other.
Not at all.
I don't know how you can go 5 rounds and be that tired and just still hate each
Immediately
other.
talking shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hold my nuts as soon as the fight was over.
that stamina is something that I need to get here in the next few days. You know what I mean? Next couple
Yeah,
of
you got
days.
what? What do you have? When's your match?
28 days?
Wait, so
I don't know
old
when it is.
WrestleMania is 2 days. Do you know which day you are?
Yeah, so it's fascinating because I saw the internet trying to guess this as well, and I know less than everybody on the internet, I think. Well, actually, I knew Vince McMahon wasn't walking in here and punching me in the face.
For you.
Yeah, that was back when I was at NXT. I took that photo. I mean, I'm 265 in that photo, by the way. I mean,
Look good.
I mean, my eyes look good. And I mean, I appreciate that whole thing. But on the bottom of it, it says Saturday, April 2nd, Sunday, April 3rd, or whatever the case is there. On the other one, Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn, it said Sunday, April 3rd on that one. So those are like the finer details that you kind of got to zoom in. I was trying to figure out what fucking day it is, too, because I think I'm commentating as well. So it's like, I need to, you know, I'd like to know when I got to handle fucking business.
Who's going to commentate your match?
I assume it'll be that attention-starved bitch, Corey Graves, and Michael Cole.
Wait, do you have a program running with Corey Graves now?
He wanted one. There's levels to this shit, Corey. Excuse me, you know, like that whole thing. But I assume he's going to be calling it, and Michael Cole. I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe it'll be the Raw people. Or Jimmy Smith will be in there. I'm not 100% sure.
What if Dwayne came back just to call your match?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to take place, but I don't know.
It'd be cool if it did.
The whole Corey thing's interesting, by the way.
Yeah, what's happening? What's going on? I thought you guys were boys.
I thought so too.
Is this a, what do you call it? Is this all work?
I don't know if it is on his side. On my side.
That's the cool thing about that whole business, though. You can openly hate people all the time, and then eventually you're like, oh, it was part of the gig, bud. Like, you could just claim that, right?
Yeah, I don't openly hate anybody, though. I'm like,
No.
except for Austin Theory smacked me, and I didn't fuck
You just called him. You just called a Corey Graves an attention-starved bitch or something.
Yes. Yeah, that's because of as of late, it seems like that is how he's acting. So who am I not to
He's
tell
trying to set
him?
up a program.
Yeah, he's kind of forcing himself into something he wasn't a part of, which I don't know if that's
Yeah, how that works.
you know, proper or in this
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Maybe. I don't know. And there wasn't ever a sense of like happiness either, you know, for somebody who I thought was a friend of mine.
Right.
So that's honestly, that is a very interesting thing.
This feels real.
It is on my side, yeah. Like, I'm legitimately like, what is your fucking problem, dude? Like, what is you should be happy. I thought we were friends in this entire thing. I'm not, maybe he is.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm happy for you if it matters. I'm happy for you.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, a lifelong dream come true, wrestling at WrestleMania. I didn't dream of Austin Theory being the guy that has to get beat up, but I mean, it's going to have to happen.
Then you're gonna smack Vince around, aren't you? So he's Vince's guy. You're gonna smack Austin around, and then Vince is gonna come out to protect this guy, and you're gonna smack Vince around.
Well, I don't know why, because me and Vince get along.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense when Austin came out. To me, it didn't make any sense when Austin came out, honestly. And remember, I am told nothing about what happens in the shows. So as he's walking out, who is this guy?
Right.
He's from Raw, trying to ask the question, figure it out. Then he comes up to me, and he smacks me I had no, oh, okay. So then
Unprovoked.
out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, this is happening, I guess. And I almost followed up with like, is that official? Or could have anybody have just come out there and smacked me in the face and like, I'm the one? And then Michael Cole says it is official. Michael Cole, by the way, did not know, he says.
Really?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you also left out the part where Austin ran away immediately after said smack.
Yeah, which, good move, by the way. I mean, right in front of Jimmy Butler's in the bathroom.
Damn it.
Jimmy Butler's in the
I
bathroom.
did see that clip.
He was. I thought he was right there. I thought he was right behind me, you know. The Miami people, though, were going. It was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. I did not know we had any fans at all in South Florida. They were going. I mean, it was, I appreciate that. You know, I think we're in Birmingham, Alabama this Friday. I don't know what's next for this entire.
Tide.
I don't know what's next for this entire.
Are there pay-per-views leading up to WrestleMania?
Premium live events? I believe.
Is that what they're calling?
PLEs?
Yeah. Because they're all on the Peacock, so it's not like a pay-per-view. It's like,
Okay, so everything you just got to have Peacock to see it. Is that it?
yeah, only available on the cock. Peacock.
So I just have to have the cock. I don't have to like pay a $49.99 PPV charge.
People still do, I guess, but yeah, Peacock.
You can on cable. I don't know why you would and basically if you sign up for the WWE Network or Peacock, you're getting like a month free, so you can get around having to spend $80 buying it through cable.
Yeah, so it's a premium live event, basically, is what it is called, as opposed to the pay-per-view, because it's the old school adage, it's the pay-per-view, that's how you do the whole thing. Now, since it's all available on Peacock, they wanted, I guess, reword it. Joining us now is a man who joined AJ Hawk, myself, and Frank Moraldo in my last scuffle with this stupid Undisputed Era. Ladies and gentlemen, 9-year NFL vet, a man who played corner, safety, and nickel, and hosts the Man to Man podcast and everything DB. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, listen, I'm getting back in there, dude.
Hell yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, I can't believe you let that dude smack you around like that, man.
No, I didn't know.
Miami too, man. That's on me, man.
He ran away, D-Bud, and I had a job to do. It was in front of Jimmy's people. Were there. Yeah. It was very
Fucking
nice.
Michael Cole just sit there and watch that shit.
Yeah, he did.
I know. It's unbelievable.
He needs to get the singlet back on.
Who? Michael Cole needs to put the singlet back on. I concur completely. Hey, Miami, interesting place. Interesting place down there.
I heard you talk about the mask. That's shocking from a South Florida resident. I don't know. Maybe a little different at the Clearport, and I'm not sure how they're doing things at the event, but masks are few and far between down here for a while. But
really, so we got to make, because at the airport we landed at, everybody complete, like almost like perfect masks, almost not even like a lazy mask.
There was a sign that said they're mandatory.
Mandatory mask. And then we get to the arena, everybody there that's working, everybody masked there. It was, honestly, it was the most
shocking.
It was the most diligent. I was very impressed by it all. Do they hate white people down there? I felt like I was getting a little bit of I felt like I was getting a little heat just immediately upon arriving in Miami.
Yeah, they were not friendly.
They were not a friendly bunch.
It's a different world in Miami. I mean, you got Florida, and then you have South Florida, and then you have Miami. It's kind of different worlds down here. I wouldn't say they hate white people though, but depending on where you're at in Miami, they might be upset with your accent, because that's kind of English, maybe a second language in some parts of Miami.
Well, that's what it did feel like in a couple places. Yeah,
that's real talk. But
hey, Gringo,
yeah, love Miami. Great place.
Oh yeah, get your white ass.
Should have brought Zito with you, man.
Well, Zito was with me the last time I was in Miami, actually, and it went much better.
Very good.
It went much better this particular time.
Foxy, and that's
I had Foxy with me, and jeez, I mean, there's the white. He's whiter than I am.
Gap model.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the H&M white that just landed? Get these gringos the hell out of here, dude. Let's talk a little football. Darius, Bill Belichick says, J.C. Jackson, get the hell out of town. This comes 1 year after Stephon Gilmore, get the hell out of town. What's that all about? He's focusing on the offense now is what the league thinks. Do you think he wants the defense to be bad because he's going to the offensive side, or does he just think he can create J.C.'s and Stephon Gilmore's at any given time?
I mean, I feel like, he felt like he got the best out of him. Gilmore, he had a great run there, obviously, one of their best moves, bringing him in, getting the Super Bowl. He should have won MVP. J.C. Jackson, I think he was an undrafted free agent. He's one of the top corners in the league now, so he'll get paid on the free market. But that's kind of this is what Belichick does, man. He's going to get rid of guys probably a year before the rest of the league would, And he'll go on. He'll put trust in himself, put trust in his staff to build some other guys up that we never heard about, and go out there and get the job done. Spent a ton of money last year in free agency, which is something he rarely does. That tight end room, got to go out and get a receiver. You went and got a quarterback last year, so maybe his focusing a little more on the offense. But got rid of Van Noy today too, Kyle, which was a cap casualty. So it'll be interesting to see what changes over there on defense.
He hates the defense.
D-Bet, were you surprised to see them not just tag J.C. Jackson, at least try to get another year out of him?
Yeah, I was because Belichick always has that top-notch corner, and that was the reason I thought he got rid of Gilmore, because he was going to invest in J.C. in the long term. But obviously he's got some different plans, so that did catch me a little off guard. But that tag for a corner has got to be pretty high, though.
Well, and also, we don't know if he's going to tag him or not. We still got 26 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I guess reports are that he isn't being tagged. But once again, reports have been wrong.
A lot.
17-ish million for the tag on a corner.
17 mil for the tag on the corner. $5 million saved by cutting Kyle Van Noy. So maybe Bill is looking to realign his assets there. When you talk about J.C. Jackson, he's top guy in the league, or he's just amongst the top guys in the league? And who's going to be interested, do you think?
It's hard to say just one guy's the top guy, because it's kind of like, what do you like? Ramsey, he's got to go inside and out. Gilmore's still up there. Love Slay, turns the ball over. But J.C. Jackson, he's a rare combo of a guy that can lock up, that can strap up a number one, and that can also turn the ball over, kind of like a Xavier Howard. That's what he does. He can follow ones, but he's also going to turn that ball over. So that's rare. That's rare in this league, and he's a guy that a lot of teams will be interested if they have the money to pay for him. Potentially the Chargers. You went drafted Asante Samuel Jr. on one side. He'll be holding that down. JC could hold down the other side. You got Derwin. You got Joey coming off the edge.
Ooh.
So that could be a team. But there'll be a lot of suitors out there. But you got to have the money, because it's going to cost you. That's a premium position.
Let's get him to the Colts as soon as possible. Last question from me before the boys take it away. Tyrann Mathieu is going to test free agency. The Honey Badger is going to be on the market. And there's reports coming out of Kansas City from a local media person, Kent Swanson. Tyrann Mathieu will test the market per Rap Sheet. And then Kent Swanson quotes what Rap Sheet says, probably breaks double digits on salary. Wow, that is not the market I anticipated. Now, double digits he's describing as millions per year, so at least 10 million a year. So 8 figures is probably a more accurate way to describe that. I don't know how this is a big question, because we have a list of all the safeties and how much money they make. I don't know how, and if we could zoom in on that, the average per year, you go all the way down to Logan Ryan. There's basically like 10 different dudes that are making at least $10 million a year, let alone the signing bonuses and the bonuses. You would think Tyrann Mathieu would be in that class. Is he falling off? And why are Kansas City media people surprised by that particular thing?
I don't know. I mean, he's not. It's not like he's that old. We just saw Harrison Smith get broke off, I believe, last year at the beginning of this season. He got a nice new deal at 32, I believe. So I think Honey Badger, he's a guy that's out there a lot, especially since he's been in Kansas City. Rarely misses games. Got banged up in the playoffs, but he's a leader. One of those guys that brings a ton of leadership inside that locker room. Not only what he does on the field as far as a communicator and a playmaker, but I think he was the team's, MVP in back-to-back years out there in Kansas City. And once again, another great signing by Kansas City, one of their best ever, honestly, in the free agent. You went to 4 AFC championships straight. So I think Honey Badger will get paid somewhere else. I'm not surprised at all. I don't know why anybody would be shocked that he'll be getting double digits at this point.
I was very surprised to read it. I'm like, this guy must know more than I know. Tyrann Mathieu, the landlord. What do we even get him in Indy?
I would love him in Indy.
Hey, get JC in Indy too, by the way. Come on. Sure. Bring him in Indy as well.
Bring them all. Bring A-Rod. Bring everybody, right?
A-Rod, Von Miller, bring them all. Shit.
Okay. Well, Von Miller's going back to Denver, it appears. Yeah, that's a shame. I did have a little bit of a course there where I thought Von Miller was coming. What do you think about that whole thing? Him posting it, do you think this is leverage, or do you think that's him openly telling people like, hey, LA was fun. We won a Super Bowl. There's a new coaching staff. I love Denver. I still have my house. What do you think about that entire thing?
You know what? I think it's real. I think it's genuine. They drafted him, 2 overall. He was there his entire career. Obviously, things didn't go how he wanted last year. But listening to him speak, he never sounded like he wanted to leave Denver. It was more so, Denver just cutting bait on him and going in a different direction. But even beginning interview during Super Bowl week, he was like, I'm always a Bronco, and blah blah. And now that he's on an open market, for him to go out and say that, you know how it goes when it's negotiations, and that would be odd for him just to say that if he didn't really want to go back. So I think he ends up back in Denver, according to my sources.
Yeah, our sources as well on the internet. 5280, by the way, is a magazine, I guess, in Denver about all things Denver. I assume that is a
5,280 feet in a mile high.
Oh,
okay.
How many feet are in a mile? 5,280, and you're going to run every single one of them until you learn not how to drop or fumble the ball, Petey. You're killing me. I still use that to this day. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, D-But, did you get a chance to watch any of the Combine, and do you think that this draft in particular is pretty corner heavy, and is there anyone individually that you think will be kind of immediately good in the NFL?
I love Sauce Gardner. I love that kid out of Cincinnati.
Hey, he's slow.
No, he ran a 4.41.
Oh, yeah. The unofficial time was 4.5. He kind of got fucked over.
The times were all over the place, but I think for any of the scouts, that's obviously a question mark for corners coming into the league. So I think he checked that box, but confident guy, great technique at the line of scrimmage. And just like quarterbacks with corners, man, it depends on so much on what's around them, what type of meeting room you're walking into, what type of coach you have, what type of pass rushers you have, because you saw a guy like Okuda, go at the top of the draft in Detroit and go in there and struggle for a lot of those reasons. You see Surtain go into a defense like Denver and thrive immediately. So it depends on what type of situation he goes into. But I love Sauce Gardner. And Stingley coming out of LSU, I'm interested to see. He's been banged up for the last couple of years in college, but he was the next, Pat P or the next great LSU corner coming out of that school. So I'm interested to see how he pans out.
That never happens with Darius.
Never.
Darius always has the best connection, the clearest shot of everything. He froze up there. The Sauce Gardner, he's slow. That's what the internet was saying because the unofficial time was 4.5. The official time was actually 4.41. This goes back to day one of the Combine where we're like, hey, can't just be making up unofficial 40 times on TV because you're changing trajectories of everything that is going on. Now, granted, hand time's a lot different than laser time, but these dudes were flying this weekend. Another guy I want to ask Darius about whenever we get back there, Smoke Monday is a dude's name. Smoke Monday out of Auburn. I don't know how high he's supposed to go. I don't know how high he is normally. I don't know what he's up to. He looked so good during those drills, and he can't really get much out of all those drills. I guess you can kind of get the ball skills, but if the quarterback doesn't put the ball anywhere near the person. Hey, Darius, we lost you there at the end. I like Sauce Gardner as well, by the way. Handled himself professionally. Also at Cincinnati, he was tasked with a lot of very difficult jobs, I think, in that defense. I think old Luke loved him, and I enjoyed his swag. Smoke Monday out of Auburn. Did you watch the drills, the Combine drills? I don't really know who's good, what's good from watching those drills because a quarterback can ruin it by throwing a bad ball. Smoke Monday seemed like he was on for everything. I don't know enough about him, but was there anybody that you watched, you were like, oh, okay, this guy seems to have it? And did you watch those drills and think about whether or not they're important to actual success in the NFL or not?
The drills are important. Yeah, I think, honestly, the drills are probably more important than, than the 40, something like the 40, But the drill, Hamilton from Notre Dame, that's safety, who people were projecting in the top 5, just to see how fluid he was, obviously how big he is, how fluid he was. He ran well. I think he helped himself a lot on the field. But I think you can get a lot from those on-the-field drills. You can see how the hip flexibility, how good you get out of your breaks. Because those are drills that these guys know what they're getting into, months and months and months, probably years sometimes in advance. They don't change up much. So you should go out there and absolutely crush those drills. And if you're not, that's a big question mark to an evaluator. Just seeing how guys interact with the other prospects. There's a lot of things that goes into it. I don't sit and watch the Combine for hours. I watch kind of the highlights. The kid from Georgia, I know he's not a DB, but that D lineman, like
Jordan Davis, he's awesome.
I mean, that's probably the most impressive Combine performance I've ever seen. Dude going 3.41. With a 168 10-yard split and a 4.7 40. That was nuts.
Well, and his broad jump too. He was very comfortable. He's in balance. He had the longest broad jump in the history of anybody over 300 pounds, and he's 41 pounds over 300. I mean, that's he's a monster.
Made a lot. He made some money for sure.
Robert Mathis, put out a tweet, and he's like, "Hey, if 3 ifs. if this guy is a dog and a competitor, he could be an all-time, greatest of all time almost with his size and his ability to move and his bend. He was awesome to watch. Good for all of Georgia, by the way. I think the kicker ran a 4.5 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, all the time. That whole defense, they were studs all year long, and they went out there and put on the show. In Indy. Shout out there. I hope the combine stays in Indy too, man. I feel like that's the right place for it.
All the reports behind the scenes are saying that no other city is ready yet for at least another year. So it's going to be here for at least another year, and then it's going to be a real conversation after the next one, whether they go somewhere else or not. So I think it's going to be in Indy for at least another year. It always, they're all just boozing.
Yeah.
All right? All these coaches are boozing out here. All right. All the media people are just boozing, walking around. Everybody's gossiping about everything going on. I don't think there's any other city that's set up better than Indy for what actually happens at the combine. And I guess the NFL can act like those things aren't important for the combine, but that's like 70% of the combine for most of the people that come here is that kind of the outside the field. Let's go ahead and network and negotiate. Let's get ahead of this tampering period. Indy's perfect for it. I hope they don't leave, but there's always a chance somebody's going to come in with a big time check, and we all know.
Facts.
We all know money. Hey, that hat's sweet, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate you, man. We're working on it.
Can we buy it? Where can I buy that hat at?
Not yet. It's coming soon. We're working. It's a mock. It's a mock.
It's a winner. Put it in. It's a winner.
All right, there we go. That's all I needed.
Go ahead, Ty.
D-Bud, there are reports that the Packers are already working on an extension with Jair Alexander. For a guy like him, who's arguably like a top 5 cornerback in the league, how much do you think the whole Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and what's going on with the Packers is affecting his decision process? He still has another year, but how much do you think that's playing into what he's going to do next?
Oh, shit. I wouldn't say much, honestly, because, that's once again, that cornerback is a premium position, and he's coming off an injury-plagued year. So, as a player, your time can be cut at any point. So he's one of the best in the game. You got to strike while that iron's hot. You can't be waiting on A-Rod. A-Rod's going to be good regardless. He's about to sign a deal that they saying it's going to alter the market. He alter the quarterback market. He's going to be good regardless. You got to worry about your own business. So I don't think Alexander is too locked in on that.
Go ahead, Todd.
D-But, I saw Minka was posting on Instagram about getting a bag. Where is he at as far as as safeties go in the league and because Tyrann Mathieu testing the market, where do you think he'll land as far as safeties getting paid?
I mean, he would be the top guy. He should be if somebody's getting paid because he's younger, obviously. He could do just like Honey Badger. He can do a lot. He's good in deep part of the field. He can be kind of that rover player. He can cover. Minka can do a lot. You got Coach Flores back in the fold, so that'll be interesting to see if he has any input on the.
They're gonna bury the hatchet. They're gonna bury the hatchet. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, they should. But
they're gonna bury the hatchet.
I love Minka, man. I love Minka. I love his game, and hopefully he stays in Pittsburgh too. Get that bag. He definitely deserved it.
There's reports now that Tyrann Mathieu on Instagram commented on a Saints fan page that had Tyrann Mathieu going back to New Orleans, the LSU guy who is still beloved down there, I would assume. He put 2 fire emojis underneath a Photoshop of him in the Saints jersey.
Do they have the money though? They gotta keep cooking those books, man, because they got to get right.
They were $71 million over the salary cap. They're only $42 million over now. Only $42 million
it'll work.
Over the salary cap. They got to figure this out by next week.
Without a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hey, they got to figure this out by next week, Darius. Legit. Whenever you look at
all fake.
Everything's fake. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's all fake. They'll get it done, just like the Chiefs.
Hey, why have we gotten to the point in the NFL where we all just unanimously salary cap's fake? That is a real thing. They're going to fix this, I think, at some point. Obviously, there's going to be some team that doesn't have a salary cap guru whose ownership is going to get very loud. But I feel like once people kind of were able to take advantage of the rules, whether it was Veach in the Chiefs or Greenberg down in Tampa or Snead over there in LA, once people started realizing we can actually just manipulate this cap however we want to, whenever we want to. Why isn't everybody doing that, D-But? Do you think that's going to become a thing and a trend? And how do they stop it? They don't, right? They can't.
You just got to keep finding these smart numbers guys, I guess, because you know how it is. It's do business as business is being done. copycat league, all those things. And so I think more people would definitely start doing it. You see the Rams, all the willing and dealing they did to get a Super Bowl. Teams are definitely going to fall in line with how business is being done in the NFL right now.
I love that we 5280. I feel like an idiot though. I didn't even see that Mile High City, man.
Yeah, I thought it was an address. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, me neither. I messed that up. I should have known.
Cracking the code, best detective in the world.
I know
Batman over there.
Hey, speaking of, all right, let's get to it. I actually told.
Yeah, I heard it was great.
I told the boys, let's wait for the Batman talk until the very end here. Let's stay on task here with football. You hated Batman. You're not the only one, by the way. A lot of people did not like Batman, but you found yourself in the middle of quite a battle there. With a lot of people.
They got me.
Were you a Batman fan going in? Is this something you were expecting to like, and then you just hated the emo Batman, or what was it?
I'm a Batman movie fan. Batman movies, Batman cartoons. So I wasn't big into comic books, and this is more, I think, tailored to the comic fans. Because a lot of people were, hey, this is really who Batman is to the core of all this shit. I've been watching Batman movies since early night. Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson. I want to see a good Batman movie, especially if you're gonna have me in there for 3 hours. So I wasn't feeling. I'm not going to spoil any of the movie. But when I walked out of that 3-hour movie, emotions were running high. Shot that tweet out. My 13-year-old daughter loved it. She loved Pattinson. But
how was he different? How does he play the role different than the guys in the past?
D-Butt's wrong. He's wrong. It's a good movie. You're wrong, D-Butt. Don't talk shit about Batman, dude.
When did you find 3 hours ago? This movie's 3 hours, like Titanic long?
256.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh,
3 hours.
You would never guess.
In the theater, or can I stream it?
You can probably stream it on a legal website, I'm sure, somewhere.
If you watch this at home, there's no way you're staying up. I stayed up because the audio was dope. The audio was dope. Some of the visuals were pretty cool. Storyline, the emo Batman. Bruce Wayne, he was decent Batman. Terrible Bruce Wayne. Horrible Bruce Wayne. So for me, I want to see Batman. I want to see Bruce Wayne. So like I said, I don't want to get too much into the movie, but
did you read the comic books though?
No, I didn't read the comics. But that sounds like a comment that someone who read the comics, like D-Bot, would say. Oh, he's not a good Bruce Wayne. Get out of town, dude. It's a good movie.
I mean, come on, bro. We have Val Kilmer, Keaton, Bale,
Clooney.
We get this dude. You got to have a body double to show they have muscles. Come on, man.
Oh, they got a body double for muscles?
I don't know any of that shit.
No.
Holy shit.
Oh.
I respect it.
Hey, D, but I appreciate the fact you're a movie critic and a football critic. I will watch. Batman's the only one that I'm like actually kind of dialed into because I saw the Dark Knight and then the that other one.
Dark Knight.
I'll put it like this: we all grew up wrestling fans. We grew up in the Attitude Era. We saw The Rock, right? We saw The Rock for 20 years. So you saw The Rock for 20 years, and then you turn on the Young Rock. They just give you a whole.
Oh, come on.
TV
How dare
critic
you,
as well.
dude.
Did you just bury Young Rock? I love Young Rock.
That's just, some people love it. Some people want the backstory. Some people want the whatever. And some people just want to see, the fucking Brahma Bull, man. And I didn't get it.
I appreciate you. I can't wait to see it and see how, if I agree with you or not.
You might love it. You might love it, man.
There's zero. If it's 3 hours, there is zero chance.
There's zero chance you're going to watch it, really.
Bingo. That's it. As soon as I see 256 on the bottom, if I was to scroll through and I see it and it says 256, I'm like, is this episodic? Like, is there 6 of these?
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite with superhero movies. 3 hours, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, we locked in. That's good. But this one, you're 2 hours in, and you like, damn, I know I got another hour of this bullshit. Like, we're supposed to be wrapping this up by now, man. I mean, it was when that thing ended, nobody stayed for the end scene credits. We were out of there, man. But I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Are you a superhero movie? Are you a superhero movie guy?
Yeah, big time.
Okay, so don't question his legitimacy. You, Connor.
The best one. So he says, yeah, all right.
Debo was the only
Dark Knight Rises,
first one that I saw that didn't like it.
What's that?
I thought Debo was the only and first one I saw that didn't like it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's getting like universal praise.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. D-Butt's in a camp of one on this one.
I haven't seen it, D-Butt, but I'm with you.
Go Hey, AJ, check it out, man.
I trust D-Bud's, his review of this movie. I will check it out.
All right, I won't check it out because I trust.
I'll agree.
I trust
Hey,
you.
and I went in blind. I didn't do any research. I didn't know what comic book it was based off of. I didn't, I knew Pattinson was doing the role, which, I already had my feelings there, but I was
That's a preconceived notion right there, D-Bud.
Well, you'll go from fucking Twilight to Batman.
Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Man to Man podcast. Can't wait to buy that hat. Movie critic Darius Butler.
Oh, by the way, season 2 of Young Rock comes out next week.
Yeah, March 17th.
Can't wait.
15th.
15th, sorry, March 15th. Can't wait to see it.
That'll be sick.
Those episodes of See You, D-Butt. We missed them, I think. I just heard him. Bro, he was very comfortable in giving his movie criticking onto the internet, and then everybody was very comfortable letting him know what they thought of his movie critiquing.
Oh, yeah. Was he going back at him?
A little bit, and then he did a Spaces.
Yeah.
He did a Spaces at 9
About
o'clock.
the movie?
Yeah, he said, everybody's getting real comfortable in these comments. Come say it to me in my Spaces at 9 p.m. or whatever. You saw it?
Yeah.
You went this weekend? Mm-hmm. Who'd you go with? Yourself?
Myself, yeah. I love a solo movie trip. Get some popcorn, hang out.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It was actually, it's a good film. I mean, he hated Robert Pattinson before he walked into that movie theater. We heard it with the Twilight comment, so it doesn't surprise me. But it's a solid movie.
Is he a good Batman, though?
He's a good Batman. Great Catwoman as well. She crushed it. And then the Penguin was all time. Colin Farrell. You would have no idea who it was if you didn't know he was acting in it.
Well, it sounds like there's zero chance I'd go to movies.
Yeah, no way.
Who has 3 hours? That's
Just
a long
pretend
time.
it's like a 1 to 4 p.m. on a Sunday. Replace it with football.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Was the last one the Christian Bale movie?
Yes.
No offense to Pattinson or any of the Batmans. You ain't a 1 o'clock kickoff. Okay, in the NFL.
Wait, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, though. What was he?
That was a Joker prequel story, AJ.
So that's not a Batman movie?
No.
It's in the same universe, though. Marvel.
Yeah.
DC.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's all the same.
I know nothing about any of these dudes.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Did you watch cartoons growing up?
No. I saw Doug.
Good cartoon.
That's my favorite.
It's a great show.
30 minutes.
Did you read comics or anything like that?
No, I don't know.
Me neither. I know nothing about any of these dudes. But
I haven't seen any of them. But yeah, I'm not saying they're not good movies or whatever. I just never, for some reason, never got my interest.
I respect how much goes into it and how loyal their fans are. Like Nick is a diehard superhero fan.
Who read comics? Well, okay, I always hear about these comic books. I haven't seen a comic book, let alone know people that read them.
Go to a comic book store.
I don't think they
bro.
exist.
Okay.
I don't think they exist.
Yeah, I think they do exist.
Yeah, they do. They're pretty sweet.
Like in 1955, they existed.
Now, I think kids our age were reading them. I think. I'm not sure.
Well,
go to Comic-Con?
When there was a TV option?
Yeah, I think so, right? Isn't that something that happens?
I don't know.
I never read them. I've
never seen one in my life.
The cartoons on like Saturday?
Those are sweet.
Saturday cartoons everybody talks about.
X-Men's Untouchable.
I was working. I was kicking balls. So, maybe Pattinson should have watched too. It's from what it sounds of it. Maybe he should have watched cartoons, maybe get a little bit more accurate.
How's his voice, Connor?
Does he hockey pads?
Kind of, yeah. To D-Bud's credit, Bruce Wayne is a big old bitch that he makes him seem like. To be fair.
Oh, that's not
no.
But I mean, that's Batman. That's the guy's Batman. You would never know that Bruce Wayne's Batman because he talks like
Yeah,
that.
Bruce Wayne isn't a bitch though. He's holding like fundraisers for everybody in town at the biggest penthouse in town.
They're not at that yet. Hopefully that is the next episode because this is the whole entire thing. He's vengeance Batman, and then at the end of it, he comes to learn he can't just be vengeance. He's got to be something else, something more.
Maybe no spoilers right there.
It's not.
Aren't they based off of comics though? So don't you already know what's going to happen?
Nobody reads the comics.
Yeah, I don't. I had no idea what was going to happen. I don't read the comics.
All right, let's get to a break.
Fair enough.
I was excited for a new Batman because
Yeah,
Batman.
I'm definitely not going to see it.
Me neither. 3 hours, too long. Whenever you said, I can't believe I just watched that for 3 hours, I was like, there's movies that are 3 hours nowadays? Because I thought the world was going shorter.
Isn't Avatar 3 hours?
Yeah.
That was back whenever movies were supposed to be that long.
Yeah. I think The Rock's movie that's coming out this year is supposed to be 3 hours.
I'll watch it.
Black Adam.
What is it?
Black Adam. It's a same thing DC superhero.
I'll watch that. That's going to
The
be
Rock? Yeah. Why hasn't The Rock been Batman?
Great question.
Because
he's Black Adam.
Yeah.
Black Adam.
Thank you, Pat. Jesus.
You can make them both. This is the movie magic. The Rock can absolutely be Batman. I feel like he would be a very intimidating Batman.
He would have been a great Batman. I think he was cast as Black Adam. They're in the same universe. Can't do both.
Yeah, he's
There you
also
go.
he's
He can do
not
both.
unassuming enough. You see him as Bruce Wayne, and then you see him in the suit. It's like, Dewey is fucking Batman is Bruce Wayne.
Same guy.
Yeah, because
Now he could lose 140 pounds of muscle, film all those scenes as the other guy, and then all of a sudden gain the weight back and play Batman.
he could do that McConaughey thing. Where
Yeah.
McConaughey loses all his weight.
Dallas Buyers Club. I thought he injected himself with the HIV virus for that, so he could lose that weight.
That's what the movie was about. I don't think he went that far, but I do believe he did lose a lot of weight for that. And
Academy Award winner.
Yeah, it was right back to back with True Detective, so it worked out for him.
that was a
Oh yeah.
Masterpiece.
The future ones I'm never gonna watch, but that
Yeah,
first one.
seasons 2 and 3 kind of stink, but the first one of that is.
How about
8
that
of the-
scene? How about that scene where he's in
the ghetto, kind of?
Yes, and it's a full one shot.
Oh yeah, goes through the whole thing.
I love that. I love McConaughey. He was down there with Austin FC this weekend.
Doing this, yeah.
Not a big time win. All right.
When's he gonna be the governor?
I think he's running, wasn't he?
I think he dropped out.
Yeah, he threw his hat in the ring, and then I think promptly.
I bet as soon as he dabbled with politics, he got like 45 messages that were like, "You do not want to do this. You hate this. You remember this mistake you made? It'll be told by everybody. You fucking stink. You hate your life. See you later." Maybe. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
Politics seemed like a wild thing to be a part of. Same with the superhero movies. Sure. That's why Pattinson getting in there was a big deal to begin with, right?
Oh yeah.
Twilight was the wolf thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vampires, wolves.
So I've never seen that either. So I can't even judge Pattinson. He was just a super handsome guy, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ladies loved him.
Oh yeah.
Still do.
Oh yeah.
Would you be team werewolves or team vampires?
Personally?
Yeah.
What are the humans doing?
They kind of suck.
Well, I'd like to rally them.
Pattinson.
I'm back in 4 minutes.
Potter too. That's why Connor was
Who was?
Pattinson.
Yeah,
Really?
A very small role in one of the films. But
There's like 13 films, isn't there?
I like him because of Tenet. Yeah, there's 8. Robert Pattinson, after the premiere, though, did go to Pete Davidson's bar and only play Kanye West music for the entire night.
On the
Everybody
jukebox?
Everybody needs to take it easy on Pete.
Pete Davidson.
I mean, Pete's still winning that war.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is he?
Pete is winning.
Yes, he is.
I
He's
agree.
Still up
If they're
there.
talking about him, Pete is winning. Kanye's putting you in music videos and everything. You won.
So, Pete's going to space with Bezos. This is Kris Jenner getting involved, by the way. Send you to space, Pete. Got it. I love that. Boy, that has become something. That's going to end soon, right? It has to.
Has to.
Yeah.
Did you watch the last episode of the Kanye West doc?
Genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
A lot more respect for Kanye after watching that doc, by the way. Legit.
I've seen, how many are there? I've seen the first episode.
3. There's a lot of fast forwardable things in the third one because Cootie's getting a little bit too much Cootie, but all right. See you later. Let me get back to Kanye, please. Boom. Very well done.
Hey, I respect his passion, man, no matter what. I know I've said it before. Anyone that is all in that much on what they're passionate about, I'm like, hey, whether you like him or not, whatever, I respect it.
I didn't see Kanye for 5 years, so I had a baby. Here's the shot of me and my baby. That's Cootie.
Yeah. It's crazy.
By the way, respect to Channel Zero and to Cootie, but also, you know what we're watching for, Cootie. Come on. I can't knock his hustle because he is the one who created it. They bought it off of him, so he put himself in there. We learned about Cootie. I'm a big fan of Cootie. He's probably a great stand-up comedian, but also there was a lot of moments where I'm like, oh, come on, let's get back. I get it. You haven't been with him for 6 years. Let's get to that then. Let's get right to the Kanye stuff. Worth a watch, I think. Pete, I think, doesn't deserve. I mean, Pete's just trying to live his life, I would assume, but old Skeet's he's been battling.
Been taking it on the shins.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes. We'll answer some phone calls and wrap up this March 7th, Monday edition of the Pat McAfee Show. See you then. The head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Coach Mike Tomlin.
Oh, man, Pat, it's an honor to be on with you, man. Thanks for having me.
You're a legend. Thank you for putting me through my workout and having the scouts actually come watch me kick at West Virginia. I don't think I've ever fully thanked you for that moment, Coach.
No, man, I've drank the McAfee Kool-Aid for a long time.
Let's get right into it. The locker room culture changed completely when I was in the league, from when I was a rookie to when I was done, and I retired after the 2016 season. Now it's even more different, I would assume, from when you came into Pittsburgh and everything like like that, the dancing on the logo, the TikTok, everything like that you guys have had to experience. What is your messaging in there? How do you adapt and let players be themselves without, doing too much? Because that is a fine balance that you've been able to do, I think, in an incredible job with throughout your entire time in Pittsburgh.
I think for me, more than anything, I try to stay connected. Just getting a sense of where these guys are coming from, what's in vogue for their generation, what captures their attention, how do they learn, how do they communicate, how do they interact with each other formally and informally. And I think being a parent kind of helps me. My boys are 19 and 20, so it's not much difference between them and some of the younger guys that I deal with here. And so for me, it's just about gaining an understanding, working to stay connected. That's my general attitude, man. It's adapt or die for me. And I don't want to be one of them old crusty guys, man, that just refuses to adapt. Although I am one of those old crusty guys now.
Yeah, you are old as shit now. You know what I mean? You've been around a long time. I remember back in the day, whenever you showed up, there was a lot more, to the camera. There was a lot more.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. Now you're just old ass man now, huh?
You know how it is. Years in this business will scar you, man. It'll settle you down.
That is classic. One of my favorite moments with you is when you would tell me every warm-up, I'm going to get you back to Pittsburgh when you're old and cheap. What does that mean? What did that mean? And should that have been taken as a smack in the mouth, like whenever you said that to me?
No, man, it was a tip of the cap, man. There's certain guys around this league that I'm really interested in, but I know I cannot afford. And you were one of them, so I was going to wait for you to physically deteriorate a little bit until you came back into my wheelhouse.
Yinzers are going to go bananas in Heinz Field this weekend. First time it could be filled up in a long time. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to... Oh, mama, I'm here for my life. Is that your alarm clock? Yeah, just say yes, by the way. Yeah.
It's my ringtone. It's my alarm clock.
We appreciate you, Coach T. Last question before we let you go. Why'd you let Troy Polamalu do what he fucking did to me? I know you've heard of this. Why? Well, that's a short side of the field. That's bad football. You guys coaching unsound football over there in Pittsburgh? How did that happen?
We know you and love you as a man. But on Sundays in the fall, man, you're the nameless gray faces that we...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, never had a losing season, absolute legend, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah!
Thank you, Coach. Not sticky at all, these gloves.
Yeah!
Did you see that? That's what I thought. Not sticky at all, these gloves.
Maybe you grab
Not
that.
sticky at all. Yeah! These gloves are just so slick. They're so slick, it's hard to catch stuff. Shit! It's so difficult to catch stuff. I don't know how these kids are doing it. I have no idea what's going on. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here. Final moments of this Monday, March 7th. Let's go to the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Go to 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order of all of their delicious flavors.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love them. I actually have to time out when I want my 5 hours to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that cherry one, extra strength. That's my go-to. But there is tropical flavors. There is tropical burst. There is cherry. There's peach mango. There's so many from 5-Hour Energy. Go to 5hourenergy.com. That's the number 5. OurEnergy.com. I don't think there's a dash in there. Use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order. They sent us this, right? I don't think that.
I was going to say, I think that's a safe assumption. No dash in there.
I've been going to the wrong website this whole time.
Yeah, I don't think you're putting a dash in there. Whatever the case, let's go to Kenny in Ohio. OH.
I-O.
All right, Kenny, before you get started, AJ, do you want to reverse the curse right now or not? Michigan has beat you in every single sport in the last recent memory. The last result with Michigan against Ohio State in football, men's basketball, women's basketball, ice hockey, baseball, and softball sees Michigan beating the dog shit out of Ohio State. Wow. Let's reverse the curse right now with Kenny here and all of Ohio looking, AJ.
We don't care. We don't care. No, we don't need. I give it to everybody. You know that. We were at the Super Bowl. Multiple people gave me the OH. I gave my O back. There's no reason to. We don't care about these games. All that matters is March Madness. All that matters is the tournament. So we're resting up for that.
All right, last March Madness, if you do recall what happened, because you wouldn't give a OH.
We lost a tough one pretty early, didn't we?
Yeah. Kenny tried to save it right there. Kenny was trying his best, but AJ, you know what they say the definition of insanity is?
What's that?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome.
So why do you keep doing that?
Because I'm expecting a different outcome for the good of fucking Ohio State, dude. The Ohio State.
Nah, you don't care. You don't care. You know that.
You leave ducks on the pond all the time, and every once in a while, those ducks are going to fly, and they go to Michigan, and they just beat the hell out of Ohio State, pal. Anyways, Kenny, what do you want to talk about? Thanks for trying to do your best. OH, pal.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Keep it moving. Kenny knows, dude. Kenny knows.
First thing first, why is that beautiful picture of AJ Hawk covered up?
With the Trasher jersey, maybe.
What?
That's what he means.
All right, Kenny. Trasher jersey, West Virginia jersey. It originally got covered up because I put the West Virginia jersey on because I was on game day, and I wanted to put the West Virginia there, just give a little bit of love, and also because AJ's on a grumpy. But then the Trasher jersey came in. We're back! Yeah! Look at you, AJ. Maybe this will turn the tide for a... Oh.
There it is.
Wow. You're welcome, Ohio. Jeez Louise. What's the president's name over there?
Right now? Joe Biden?
Ohio State.
The president right now of Ohio State? I don't know. Who is it?
Oh, man.
Wow, this guy doesn't give a shit.
I was about to say you're welcome to whoever.
Gene Smith is the athletic director, I know.
Oh, well, Gene Smith and Wexner and Hawk and all the people over there.
Yep.
You're welcome for what I just did. One more call here. Let's go to Caden in Boston. What's going on, Caden?
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
Keep moving.
I'm what's it called? I'm doing a thing for class right now, working my final early. I want to ask you a question back. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever you prepare for a show or prepare for an interview, what kind of stuff do you do to help prepare for a broadcast? Because you have such poise when you interview someone. I want to know if there's anything you do specifically to prepare yourself for that type of content.
Well, thank you for that, Caden. That means a lot. A lot of people say I have zero poise, actually. I get a little bit too excited. I'm too excitable, which is probably accurate. We're done. See you tomorrow. There's not a poise at all right there. Always preparing, Caden. Life is preparation. Scour the internet, look into things. If somebody's coming on the show, go ahead and search their name on Twitter, see what everybody's talking about. But mostly the questions I ask people, are natural questions that I have that I think other people would want to hear. I know that's not necessarily probably the best way to go about doing things, but that's kind of what we've done thus far. Always plugged into the internet, though. That is kind of something that I've been missing stuff, though, because the algorithm, I think my phone... What's going on? They changed this algorithm up, and all of a sudden I saw 10 tweets from one person when I opened my Twitter, and it was somebody I don't even like. I'm like, what? How is this even? I follow the person because I don't want to unfollow them because it'd be uncomfortable the next time I see them. But I opened up my Twitter, and they gave me tweets from them from 2 days ago, and then hours. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Give me what's going on right now. So I think that's too much time on my phone is my preparation, Caden. And I don't know if that's how everybody else is. I'll probably need to do some sort of rehab to get away from the addiction of being on my phone whenever this whole thing's said and done. I don't know if it's the right way to do it, but it works for me, Caden. I hope you find what's best for you. AJ, what do? You just talk to people and then try not to say anything that you hear?
I mean, if Caden is going to be interviewing people, don't you think if you're interviewing someone, the number one thing you need to do is listen and have follow-up questions? If you know nothing about the person, if you listen, you could have some good follow-ups.
Yeah, I think interviewing somebody, you have to listen. I think that is something that is...
You don't want to stay, all of a sudden you ask a question and they say, well, yeah, I went over there and then I've said this before. I chopped this person's head off and buried it in the backyard. And then you sit there and you want to stick to your script. Okay, so tell me about your parents. What was your childhood? You can't pivot from that. You got to have follow-ups.
There's no, I don't write questions for people. I don't write them down. I don't think about them. I normally just kind of let the conversation go however it goes. But there's some people that have a set amount of, by the way, both ways work. I think even if you write out questions, you're going to be able to hit topics that you want to hit and get answers for exact things that you want to hit. That's why I get upset when people are like, oh, you do it for clicks or whatever. It's like, no, I literally have conversations with people and just see where it goes. Now, if I wanted to do something for clicks, I would just write down questions and be like, all right, let's get to this topic right here, please. Hey, Vince McMahon, AEW, Tony Khan, hate him, love him. All right, I'll get your answer there. Perfect. All right, thank you. Shut up, please. Next question. Go in public. When you do that and the SEC's upset with you, like that is, I feel like there's different ways to go about it. For me, I've always enjoyed genuine conversation with people. I've always enjoyed it, no matter who it is. It could be, obviously the chairman of the WWE. It could be a guy who just is an absolute superstar, AJ Hawk. It could be the boys. It could be somebody that drives a truck. I just enjoy genuine conversation. I think the only way you can do that is if you listen to the people.
For a lot of times, those follow-ups, I feel like get those, like not clickbaity, but like the answers that you are, eventually kind of getting to.
No, I think the setup of this show is good because if I miss anything that we should hit, the boys always, hey, by the way, this is something that's being talked about. Do you ever think about that? It's a pretty good little setup that we have currently going. I feel like.
I think when most people too, like if you just wrote stuff down, that's when you always talk about you're getting just like those canned answers that they're kind of like sitting on and waiting for. And if you would do that, like then people are like, oh, okay, I understand the cadence of this. I can just continually kind of give them the surface level bullshit because nothing else is coming.
Well, have you ever done an interview where somebody just clearly had all the questions written out in front of them? Yes.
Absolutely. I've had multiple times where people want to send me the questions before.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, no, thanks.
Hey, we want to send over, we want to prep you for what we're going to talk about. Don't. I don't hear
Some people want that, though. For some reason, some people want that.
Why?
I guess they claim, so I can be prepared. I'm like, well, so it's, I don't know. I just don't respond well to that.
Whenever people want to send me over the questions, I'm like, oh, this person's going to set me up. That's what I always say. Oh, this person's going to set me up. They want me to be prepared for these hardball questions. And first of all, I got attacked by the wrestling community for some of the wrestling community, not all. The portion of the community that Vince McMahon was referring to about how there's portions of the internet wrestling community that are just always going to be harsh and be terrible because they're doofuses and they just do what they're told by whoever they follow. But I feel like we covered everything in there, Mm-hmm. And I guess I could have followed up like, hey, I need a better answer out of this. But like also, anytime you do that, you're automatically shutting down the rest of the conversation, basically. You might as well just say, okay, we don't want to hear anything else from this person if we're going to decide to say fuck you to them right now. Like, I don't know. I just like conversation. And everybody seems to, in the journalist world, have better ideas for how the conversation should go. But all their interviews
a billion different ways
stink.
to go about it.
Yeah, their interviews stink. So
exactly.
Getting people in here, too, was so awesome.
Stunk for AJ. I actually texted AJ. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Having people in here was good for the
I
show.
like it. No, especially with certain people, though. Like, it's like Mike McDaniel was awesome, but I wasn't going to. That's why I dropped off with Vince. I'm like, I'm not going to have Vince try to put the headphones on and find me on the monitor in between all this.
Hey, Mike McDaniel. I enjoyed that. While we were in the middle of that thing, I'm like, oh, the old whites. Oh, they're going to hate this guy. He was not scared to be himself at all. And I have the utmost respect for that because players respect and appreciate authenticity, transparency, being who you are. Not putting on some, hey, this is what I think I'm supposed to be, just being yourself. I don't think Mike's going to have any problem with just being himself every single day, and the players will respond. Now, they're going to have to win, obviously. If they lose, it's going to get dicey, but it gets dicey with everybody if you lose. But I feel like him, and Gumpy's here. Gumpy, I feel like the internet Dolphins fans were pumped to hear him on this show and act the way he was. Was that your takeaway as well?
Everything that I saw in every response to my tweet about him or your tweets, Dolphins fans loved him. I mean, it's just hope. It's hope for Dolphins fans that we don't usually have.
And he's very different than any other coach that I've ever talked to.
He actually, that's what was cool. He definitely listened to your questions, and he would sit there and be like, huh. And then he would like come up with, that's a good question. He'd come up with his response. He didn't have canned responses like coaches and cliches. Like it was cool. Like I thought he was awesome. He seemed very authentic. He was great sitting there. Like, did he say anything? Leave any notes for Tyler K? I farted 6 times in your chair.
No, I don't think he said that, but he did sit in the pocket. I missed it. I was so excited. I'm like, dude, you're the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. He said, consensually? And Like, that's a hilarious line from him, and I missed it. I completely missed it. I'm like, yeah, I think so, or whatever. I didn't get it until afterwards, where I said, "You're fucking the head coach of the Miami Dolphins."
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, I didn't get it until afterwards. I watched it back, and I was like, ah, man, I can't believe I let that one slip by. But I was so happy. Like, I was just, like, trying to, get him going. And then, hey, I worked 16 years at the shipyard. We need you, pal. And then at the shipyard?
Yeah.
Like, there was a couple things where you could tell he's still quick, but I think he was just himself. I enjoy it. When people are in person, we were lucky. Super Bowl week, and then at the Combine week, we got a bunch of people through.
Well, and you look at like Sirianni. I mean, like people are going to say whatever they want to say, but then he turned everything around. They made it to the playoffs, and like, yeah, people might be poking fun at him, but no one's saying he's a shitty coach.
Same person every time,
and he's the same guy that he has been from the get-go.
Everybody thinks you hate Sirianni because you do an impression. It's
Not
like,
at all.
No. How come impressions used to be the highest?
You want him. You want him to be successful, Ty. You can
Bingo.
continue to do the impression.
Are you going to do a McDaniel?
See, that was one of the most entertaining. I mean, I just listened to it and I was like, that is unbelievable. It's kind of weird though, because I feel like people with the Sirianni thing, everyone just assumes I think he's just a dipshit, which obviously being a head coach in the NFL, like you can't, but you can tell with him, like, and you were talking about like his IQ and everything, like he's super intelligent. He's just measured in the way he talks and speaks and like thinks everything out. And I mean, if called upon, yes, I absolutely will. But it's one of those things where I wouldn't want it to come off like people just think that I'm just roasting on him and think that he's just some big dumb dipshit when he clearly isn't.
Yeah, well, Sirianni, by the way, he says things that should be made into comedy. You know, like and that's what kind of our show is. If you look at last week, we had Cliff, Staley, McDaniel,
Lovey.
I mean, Lovey's the only one that isn't like the younger coach. That is. And they all gave us great conversations, which was very interesting. Staley saying, nah, I'm not that big of a stats analytics guy. Actually, and my guys are better than your guys' guy. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm intrigued to see how that pans out. He came from the Bruce and Linda Staley coaching tree. I'm not learning from anybody else. This is from my dad, who was a high school coach, I think.
Yeah. Shots fired at McFay a little bit.
What's that? Oh, yeah, because he did come from over there.
He was DC on his staff. And then
For 1 year? How many years?
I think he was
short period.
Yeah, he's the linebackers coach before that, and then DC. And then,
I think.
How about Cliff Kingsbury? He's the coolest looking guy. Oh, yeah. He's got that Texas drawl.
Yeah, man. Just got that extension, too.
Yeah, day before he came in here. He was looking clean. I assume he didn't buy those clothes brand new, but god damn.
Much bigger in person, too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, this guy played
body.
quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, he's like 6'3".
Yeah.
Felt like he was like 6'3", 6'4".
And he can still slang it, like he said.
Football? Yeah, I could still, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was good.
We're talking football. Yeah, of course. He's out there.
Hey, Gumpy's there. What the hell happened in Mexico? I saw some clips. That looked awful.
Dude.
Querétaro, is that the name of the team?
Yeah, Liga MX. I mean,
what started all that?
From my understanding, they just weren't cheering for the right team, as far as I know.
That happened again. What was the other hooligans I sent to you?
Bristol City? Was it?
There was somebody was cheering on the wrong team and got jumped in the crowd again. Like the soccer hooligans.
I mean, they were stomping dudes in the head in that stadium.
Yeah, so the Querétaro, am I saying that right? Is that the name of the team in Liga MX?
I think so.
So there was initially announced that 17 were dead, 20 were dead. Then the governor came out and said that nobody's dead, actually. Everybody's recovering. So I don't know if that is just a political lie or the case, but it looked ugly. They were stripping them down and beating them up and embarrassing. It's like, golly.
Was it one side only taking on the other side, or like how did that work?
The home team, I believe, was the ones that were winning all the fights, I assume.
Did the players get off the field in time? Like they were all over the field and everything.
Yeah, they were beating up the Atlas fans.
I think there is a natural in the soccer world, as soon as the fans get on, players see you later, because the hooligans in the soccer world play no games. You know, I went to a game, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG was playing whenever I was a teenager. We got tickets because of the soccer we were playing over there. My dad and I got to go. Flares being shot across the field from right behind us, like the insanity that was going on. It was like, yeah, this is the culture. Like, this is what soccer culture is. That stuff at Liga MX, I think, is much different, obviously, than everywhere else. But the MLS and Liga MX were supposed to have like a deal. Like it was supposed to be like it was almost like a joining of leagues almost.
Yeah, they have a cup that they play every year. It goes back and forth. But the Atlas team was winning 1-0, which is wild.
So they were celebrating. So the Atlas fans probably were celebrating that, and then all of a sudden, Querétaro.
To my understanding, the game didn't finish. It ended in the 6th minute because they rushed the field.
Yeah, what? That was scary, though. You're 100% right. That was scary to watch. I'm like, lead.
Nobody, I was watching, nobody's safe. You got to get the hell out of there. How do you know what to do?
But real quick, we have to remember that as this world opens back up again, a lot of pent-up aggression on a lot of people out there. They'll punch you right in the mouth, kick you in the mouth, strip you down, embarrass you in front of your family, and try to kill you, I guess.
Especially at a cagey affair like that. You're not getting goals.
Yeah, true. Everyone's pissed.
That's not good.
66 minutes, man. Why did they end it there?
What?
So how much time do they have left? Do we know? We have any idea?
23.
24 minutes, AJ.
How much extra time, pal?
Well, we'll never know, unfortunately.
Exactly. Nobody ever knows. It's stupid. Change the rules.
Whoa.
How many take the magic out of the game, dude. You never know when it's going to end. It's awesome.
Just real quick, nothing like this ever happened at the Barcelona games, right?
No.
Never happened at Barcelona.
I should have known.
Barcelona might be back. They've been playing some good footy of late.
I mean, that's what Barcelona does.
Yeah.
You went 7-2-1 on footy bets, I think, on Saturday.
We're back. We're back.
Remember that whenever you're watching Hammered Down, we have the greatest footy handicapper on earth. Listen, respected by other footy handicappers around the earth. Gumpy, best soccer bettor on planet Earth right now.
Thank you.
No problem. We appreciate you, man. We're making money on a sport none of us care about. I was watching Man U, Man City.
Ooh.
What is the deal? Why is Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench?
Oh, my God.
What are they doing? Sell the team.
You see the last 15 minutes of the game, 92% possession, Man City. United is.
Wait, why would he not be in the game?
Well, if you listen to some of the Man U fans, it's because he's too selfish.
He's the main draw in the whole sport, right? Don't you play him no matter what?
That's what I was thinking too, but I guess that's not the case over there in the footy world. Remember, a lot of respect there has to be earned.
The new coach is saying his system, Cristiano might not fit.
Well, that means the new coach doesn't fit.
Yeah,
right?
new coach trying to lay his dong on the ground and show who's boss. That's what he's doing.
It does feel like he's trying to do what the Chicago mayor, who's got the biggest dick out there. But like the thought of, that was the actual statement. That's awesome. The thought though of the coach coming in and saying the guy that we paid the most money to is the biggest superstar in the world doesn't fit our system. That's kind of ass backwards, right? That's why people were asking for them to sell the team, because how do you hire a coach that your biggest star doesn't fit into the offense, right?
And United keeps bringing players in. They keep the same players, and they just keep shuffling through coaches. So now everybody's finally turning on the players. They're saying they're uncoachable. Smart.
Is this the team the Glazers own?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Glazer.
Oh, they've had all kind of issues, right?
Go on.
Like, haven't had issues where people expect them to win a championship every year and they haven't been doing it?
Well, Manchester United, since the days of Beckham, I believe, probably whenever they rose to prominence. How did they become the American team, basically? Because they just were the only ones that were playing in America there for a while?
They were unbelievable when Ferguson was coach for like 20 years.
Sir
Alex.
Wow. You got knighted?
Yeah, they did.
But look at Liverpool.
I played
now.
against the youth team of Manchester United, actually, in a soccer tournament.
How were they? The academy?
Pretty good, I guess. I think I scored a couple.
Oh.
A little bigger, no big deal. That was back whenever they were like big time famous.
Top dogs. But
Yeah.
Liverpool were terrible before Klopp came back for years. Like, it just happens in soccer.
Klopp's a guy, too.
It doesn't matter. The MLS is going to take them all.
Oh, yeah.
I would assume what happened, though, in the Querétaro game, that was slow down the MLS Liga MX.
Feels like that
Clash.
cup has seen its last day.
That's probably done.
Maybe
Like,
we'll
is an MLS team going to go down there and play a game?
None of their fans are going.
World Cup's there in 4 years.
I would like to let everybody know I enjoy hostile environments. But that was just this. That was too much.
Over the line.
People are grabbing. There was metal. Oh,
Bad.
that was kill or be killed, AJ.
I mean, I was thinking, what if you're at that game with your kids?
There was people that were.
I know.
Some guy got clobbered right in front of his kid, I think, and his kid tried to protect him.
Oh, gosh, that's a nightmare.
Did you see the dad, by the way, in the rodeo save his son? His son gets knocked.
I did, man.
Knocked out by the bull. He's unconscious on the ground. And then the bull turns from the clowns, starts attacking back. Dad jumps down from where they start from, lays on top of him, puts his he had like a flap jacket on too, I believe, puts his back, gets gouged by the bull, saves his kid who's unconscious. It was like super dad. That was awesome to watch, that whole thing.
Man, yeah, that was tough. That was tough to watch, but it was awesome to see. Like his kid goes down, the dad jumps on him right away. That part, and I'm like, okay, man, this dude is on it. I was impressed.
The dad in the shit kickers too, jumping down there, athlete, boom, bang, on
Just
top.
seeing your son laying like that unconscious would be tough enough. Like the quick thing, it was cool to see.
Yeah, it was awesome to see that. Obviously, not good to see him knocked out and almost dead, but the dad jumping down there athletically, quickly, and moving his body into a play. It was like, oh, this is like a hero moment right here. Hope his son came back to it. By the way, I guess those bulls are.
Yeah, that's scary.
Hard to fuck with.
They tie their balls up. Is that what they do?
I'm not sure. I do know the Spurs though. Something that pisses
Some of them
them off.
they tie the rope around their balls or whatever to do something.
Well, and then there's some bulls that are just natural bad because they have a scouting report on the bulls. Because I think you get to pick the bull in an order. You get to pick the bull that you're going with. There's like some sort of lottery, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's a lottery in which you get to pick the bull, and there's full scouting. Oh, this is a pissed off bull. This bull, a little docile bull, but a quick bull. This bull will start turning for you in a quick fashion. If I do know the rodeo world, a little bit above zero, I think that is the case. There's some bulls that I guess you just don't want to fuck with. Like this bull is a badass bull right here. This bull's fodder was a bad bull. This bull's fodder was a bad bull. This is third generation badass fucking bull here. Need to watch it.
That's how it is.
Good bloodline.
Don't they ever? What'd you say, Diggs?
That's how it is.
That's how it is. Tone knows. Tone almost went out to the Wrangler 300.
That's right.
Speaking of, I watched that race. Kyle Busch got screwed.
Man. Did not deserve that.
I bet on Kyle Busch live.
As you should.
Didn't have the race on, but I synced him at pretty good odds, and I'm like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
If Kyle's running, Kyle's winning. And, of course, he got screwed out of that whole race. Obviously, he didn't win. That other person did.
Fucking Bowman.
Bowman. Charlie Bowman.
Runs into the back of everybody.
Yeah, well, and also Kyle thought he was getting a push, and then all of a sudden the son of a bitch that was in front of him was like, nah, he ain't doing nothing. Behind him, he kind of got screwed there. Kind of got lost on that restart because Kyle Busch was electrifying. He needed that. And then let's talk about a little golf there. Scheffler did a big win.
Oh, yeah. Scotty.
I had no idea what he looked like. I put a live bet on Hovland when I saw you guys tweeting about who you live bet and everything like that. Congrats, Tone, on the live bet hit.
Bruce, that was a pre-tournament Bruce pick.
That a baby, Bruce. That a baby. That became really good golf there at the end.
Yeah.
The wind and the course was just beating the hell out of Oh, my God, I was beating the hell out of everybody. I bet on Hovland just on – I wasn't watching. I just won. I saw you guys tweeting that you were betting on live bet. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go get whoever. He was at like plus 380 with on 17 with one hole left, and he was back one. I'm like, that feels like good odds. I'm going to go ahead and put $100 on that real quick. Then they showed him, like, that guy ain't never going to fucking win. As soon as they showed him, that guy ain't never going to win. He looks scared to death, that guy.
Well, I normally say that he looks stoned as fuck because his eyes are never open. But
so maybe that's what I saw. I'm like, this guy.
He's always really smiley.
Yes, he is
really
very
happy.
Yeah.
As soon as he came on the screen, though, I'm like, I didn't know that's the guy I bet on. He looks scared.
Wasn't he a Ryder Cup? I think he was in the Ryder Cup.
No, because he is from. Well, maybe for Europe. Yeah, he was for Europe. Sorry.
Came about 4 feet short.
Yeah, to your point, he had a putt to tie it. You never leave that fucking putt short.
Well, that's what amateurs say, I guess. You know, I've heard like really good golfers like that isn't a real thing.
Yeah,
that isn't.
You can't leave that short.
But I literally told the wife, I said, I just live bet a Hovland guy. Let's put this thing on, and it was on 18, and he went right at the hole over the water there. And it bounced, and if he hits that probably a foot longer, that thing's within probably 3 feet or whatever. Checks up, he's still got a pretty good putt uphill there. And as soon as they show his face, I'm like, that guy looks scared to death.
I lost.
And he's got no fucking chance. And then all of a sudden he rolls that thing short. Whatever. I like the. It was good golf though. Felt like it was pretty good golf.
Masters around the corner.
Hey, it's golf season, AJ. Let's go.
Is Tiger back soon?
Players is this weekend. Big tournament.
I don't think Tiger's back. Somebody said something.
He'll be back for the Masters.
Yeah, it was. Someone was predicted to win, had higher odds or something like that.
Something happened with Tiger.
Oh, he buried Phil in a tweet.
Yeah, the Saudi Golf League.
Everybody buried Phil.
Well, yeah, Phil buried himself, I think.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah, like he's lost sponsors, everything. What did Tiger say?
He won an award last week.
Phil or Tiger?
Tiger, but apparently Phil was in the lead to win, and then that happened.
Oh, their PIP or whatever. They give bonuses to people that have like high profiles.
This is the Jordan Spieth thing.
The move the needle. Yeah.
That one.
The move the needle bonus.
Tiger got like $8.5 million, and he didn't even really play.
Tiger's going to win that every single time he plays.
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth. Tiger's like the Jordan's dad, right? Who was a part of the entire. He's like a mathematist or whatever that kind of presented the PGA with that. Like, hey, even if my kid isn't winning, everybody watches when he plays. So we need to figure this out. We need to figure out how to make the money. And then Tiger's like, thank you.
Yeah, perfect.
I will play 3 tournaments a year, and the ratings will yodely, and I'll get that every time. Golf is such an awesome sport. I want to get good at that sport.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I can't wait to watch you play on TV when you're on tour.
I don't need to be on tour. I just need to be one tournament top 50.
Well, if you go in one tournament and you get top 50, they're going to show a lot of those shots on TV.
Maybe I get that bonus all of a sudden.
Oh, that'd be sweet. You could get some of that PIP bonus, I think they call it.
I'll have to get in shape.
Why?
For that. I got to get a little bit more flexible, I think. I was
No,
watching.
you don't.
Rotation.
A stretch coach reached out to me, by the way.
Really?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah. Believe me, with your high level of income and your public personality, you're going to have a lot of coaches reach out to you.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, nutritionists reach out to me.
Nutritionists, too?
There's a lot of gurus out there that can help you.
Nutritionists and a strength coach or a stretch coach want to get me ready for Mania.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Very nice of them.
Okay.
Here we go.
Did you have to send a?
I haven't been able to touch my toes ever in my life. So, stretch coach, good luck, man. I don't know if you know that.
Have the nutritionist send over like a sample plan. See.
Gets here tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Has worked with some pretty high level people, I believe.
Is that right?
Really?
I believe.
You mean actual sending you over meals, like pre-made meals?
Yeah, and I hate them every single time.
There's a couple of services that are really good. UFC uses one. It's good.
Well, I don't know if you're being serious or not because I've tried this like 6 different
I've
times.
used them.
They all taste like shit. They all of them taste like shit. But I guess
There's some good ones. You just got. I guess it's all in your expectations. Really.
Yeah, but I guess like I'm not eating food right now to taste good. I'm eating food right now to be a premium.
Yeah.
Body.
Eat to live, don't live to eat.
That's right. Well, I struggle with that because I'm from Pittsburgh and I like sandwiches, but also like, hey, I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta
Trying to get yoked.
I mean, it looks like the keto's working.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
They're
did
good, man.
Thank you.
There's
Thank you.
services that send just keto food.
I told old buddy, I said I'm currently ketoing, so keep that in mind. You know when you're sending yourself. I don't even know if I need a nutritionist actually.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like below 7 grams of carbs.
Hey, what do you do though? What do you do for the spray tan situation? I know you said you broke out last time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried. I had that fungus all over my whole body. That was tough. That was bad. That was not good. I mean, my whole body, like, it was.
Yeah.
It was bad. Bad.
Maybe you have to go in the real deal, get in the real sun.
Charges of the game. I have a little Hawaiian kiss still a little bit, so maybe I will just get the actual tan. But the sun has been out here in Indy, man. Sun's been out last couple of days. It's supposed to get cold again, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It was a lot hotter in Ohio than it was California this weekend.
Oh, Cali was a little chilly?
I was like 58, and it was 72 in Ohio.
Who all was there? Just a bunch of couples?
I mean, people that attend weddings, I guess.
Couples, though? A lot of couples were out there?
There's definitely couples there and singles.
Oh, there was some singles out there.
I assume, yeah.
Are some people single that we don't know about, or some people
coupled up
that we don't know about?
With the couple.
We talking about pinching cheeks? What are we doing?
Yeah, we're talking about pinching cheeks. That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, we're talking about cakes getting grabbed, cuz a cocktail hour.
Beep boop beep boop.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Lying son of a bitch.
I didn't see during cocktail hour, which was outdoors. I found a little spot indoors that I kind of hung out.
Oh, so you smoke your cigars inside in California? I'm sure that was beloved.
Jesus.
Didn't take any cigars there, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Whoa, you've changed.
I don't believe you.
What's that all about? You all right?
I didn't believe me. Multiple my buddies were like, oh, I'm like, I actually did not bring any cigars with me.
That's like you're probably the guy people go to. Hey, you got a cigar?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a lot of pressure. I was the guy. Hey, you got any edibles?
Yeah.
There was a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but you always had him. And AJ showed up to this goddamn wedding empty-handed. What a
You're right.
prick.
I did.
Yeah.
I did always have them. Only when we were in legal states.
That's right.
Obviously.
Who was this table?
Who was it? Your table?
Who's
What
at your
table were you
table?
sitting at? Were you up there with the officiant and were you in the wedding?
No, I was not in the wedding. No, I was at a normal table. I was not at the head table. I got to sit with some of my former teammates. It was great.
Where are you? Were you in the back?
I mean, I don't know. No, I was in the room.
What was the table number?
Dance? Yeah.
What was the table? Maybe number 11, I believe.
That's a bad table.
Bakhtiari, no, Bakhtiari, big family. Probably
table.
a lot of family tables.
That's a good table.
That's 11 seems like a good table there. Were you near the dance floor?
Oh, yeah, we're right by there.
Oh,
the
front
corner.
row. Who was all there? You, obviously, Mama Hawk. Who else? Clay Matthews was at your table, it said?
Mrs.
Yeah,
Matthews.
Clay sitting. Obviously, he was there. He's a good dude.
Sitting there. Brett Favre?
Brett Favre, I did not see Brett. If he was there, I missed him.
Okay.
He's working. He's probably
He
working.
didn't really have any crossover.
Big Mike?
With old
Big Mike?
Takatari.
Bart
Who?
Starr.
Big Mike.
Big Mike, no. Was not
Miles
at my
Teller.
Curly Lambeau?
table. Curly Lambeau, he was, right next
Paul
to me.
Horning.
Barty himself.
All right, let's get out of here.
Good.
Are you going to tell us any more about this fucking wedding? Did you hear anything or not?
No, I don't think anybody knows anything.
You're so.
Full of shit.
I hate you.
The internet told me he's making his decision tomorrow.
Somebody knows something.
Cool. Then we'll get to
better.
see it, right?
I hope. You were supposed to do it last week, the internet said.
But he also did say that he would come in here and sit right there and tell everybody where he's going.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Did you remind him of that?
I didn't. Are you going to get on the old Plane Tracker app or Plane Tracker site?
Should.
Look to see if you
On
had
it right
anything
now?
coming to Indy?
I'm about sick of those scumbags waiting at these spots.
Yes.
I'm about sick of
That
them.
happened again in Miami.
Oh, yeah. I gave a fuck off. Don't care. It's my new thing.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, because, it's an honor for people to want your autograph, okay? When you're a kid, that is something you dream of. I have...
But little kids aren't driving to an FBO to get your autograph when you land. It's professionals.
It's fucking scumbags. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So I'm very happy to be at the point now where I will sign like one or two so it's not completely uncomfortable, but then I will say, nope, fuck off, don't care, right to their faces. And I feel good about it. That feels very, very good. But they are everywhere now at this point. It's like, I hate you so bad. This guy listens to the show all the time. Who am I on the show with?
Yeah.
All right, fuck off. Some people will even have like fake merch that we have. Come on. I'll sign for them, but then I'll look at them like, that's a fake shirt. That's not even a real shirt. You just made that. Good work, though. Good hustle. I respect what you just did there. But go to hell in that.
Well, no one can say anything because, like, at Radio Row, like, legitimate fans of the show, you suck around and sign for everybody there, the entire time. It's like, hey, I understand that you enjoy what we do, so I'll give you the time, but...
You're preying on my kindness, though. These people are preying on my kindness, and I don't like that. I don't, because I feel like I am a relatively nice human, I think. Some people would say I'm a nice guy, but I don't like those people. I hate them. I actually hate those people. Hate them.
I get it.
And then they try to make me feel bad. Oh, come on! I drove an hour to get here. Sounds like a fucking you problem.
Yeah, big mistake.
I flew 2 hours to get here. So, great to see you though, dude. Have a good one. You want a picture? No picture. Just sign this pylon. Okay. Will you sign this blank helmet? Will you sign this blank photo paper? Oh, is this? This is going up in the house. This is you're putting this pylon up in the house. You're putting this blank helmet up in the house. You're putting this whole thing up in the house. Yeah, it's for my daughter. Yeah. All right. And then some will have their kids come up, and then I look at them and I'm like, you have no idea who I am, right? No, but will you sign this? Okay. You're a fucking scumbag.
Yeah. His dad's got a huge duffel bag right behind him trying to feed him a few more things, too.
Yeah. There was a time where this scumbag fucking piece of shit was sitting outside of our office, just sitting there with 2 garbage bags outside of our office. I'm like, can I call the cops on this dude? Like, what are we even doing? I go out, I sign a couple things for him, and he's like, I got 20 more. All right, we'll make this quick. I'm like, who's we, motherfucker? Who is we? You know what I mean? Like, what does that even mean in there? Because I'll sign for basically any person that I am, don't hate. Those people, I all hate them. They are just scumbags. Good business, though. They're getting a good $14 a pop for my autograph. That's a good deal. They're going to have to start hustling a little bit more. I don't know if I'm giving them. There's numerous groups, too. Like, if I don't like them, and obviously don't like them, I'm signing Tone Diggs on there. You know what I mean? Here's Tone Diggs. Here's AJ Hawk signing on there. Good luck with that one. You're probably going to have to wipe that one off.
That's a good gimmick.
Oh, yeah.
Gimmick.
I signed Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan whenever we played overseas soccer. When I was a kid, 14, 15 years old, they had me sign a bunch of things, all these kids. And I signed Pat on the first one. And then the one kid was like, that's not good enough, broken English. So I was like, all right, let's make your life better. Then here's Michael Jordan, sign him. Pele, I was signing Pele.
Nice.
Autograph on there. Good luck out there, pal. So
You can sneak a few things into your autograph too.
Well, there was also 20 of them waiting outside for Vince when he was done.
Yeah, there's 20 scumbags outside here that we had to literally push off the door out of here. It's like, I get it, you're trying to hustle, but also fuck you. You know?
Yeah.
I did
It's a time and a place.
I think so.
Did get to see one of Vince's signatures. It's pretty cool.
Very expensive. I don't think he does a lot of autographs. Vince, you don't see Vince in public.
I think it's just one letter.
No. Zito just looked up.
Did he sign the bathroom wall or something?
That'd be sweet.
We should have had him sign something. What the fuck are we doing? No, I don't do that. I took a selfie with him.
Yeah, picture's worth 1,000 signatures.
I guess something that I autograph is worth $1,000. Zito just said on there. Don't buy it. It's a fake autograph. It's a bad autograph. I did put zero effort in it. Just come see me. Come see me at something that we put together, and I'll sign for whatever. You know what I mean? I'll sign whatever, however. I hate those people.
Yeah, leeches.
Parasites.
It's funny. I think I've seen a couple of these guys. Yeah. Like some of these helmets.
Yeah.
Like the special ones.
It's always the same product, the same type of helmet.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So what is that? Just one business?
Same guys travel everywhere too. There's a core group that you will see in multiple different cities.
No, I think they all are part of the same group there. They all give each other.
It's on Facebook.
They're like a gang.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the Parasite gang has arrived.
Yeah.
Gang.
Let's get them.
It's like, I don't know if I owe you anything. Oh, I don't. There's one guy that stuck around all night, and I was like, all right, I'll sign a couple things for you, dude. You put in the work here. I don't know if you deserve it, but
Yeah, respect the hustle.
yeah, the persistence was good. Now get the fuck out of here. They were running up on Vince. There's been a couple times where I'm at the same airport as Vince, you know, and they'll run up on his car, and I'm like, I think there's some things in that car that could potentially, end your particular being there. They're fearless. Fearless. That's a tough game, I guess. Maybe I should have more respect for the scumbags that do it.
No.
Definitely
not.
They stink.
Yeah, they suck.
They completely stink.
Yeah, they're terrible people.
Not as bad as this show, though. This show stinks.
Oh, this is, of all time.
We'll be back tomorrow. We got Zach Brown on Thursday.
Here we go. Got a couple, yeah.
Sweet. Remember I told you he sang the national anthem at the NFC Championship game that I played in.
Was it good?
He painted his head, or one of them painted their head.
He's tatted up. I didn't realize.
And he's yoked up,
Yeah,
too.
yoked up.
He's gotten yoked up. I saw him at game day at the national finals. Or I think he was at the finals.
He's
at the
He's
championship.
a dog fan, I believe.
Yeah, I think
Georgia guy.
He was singing, and he's like yoked up.
Yoked
like this. How you doing?
At the UFC.
We'll have him on Thursday. I wonder what he's promoting. New album? Is there a new album
Yeah,
coming
they
out?
got a
Tour, maybe?
Middle of nowhere tour, I believe.
Let's go. Is that the More Cows Than People tour that we were planning on doing?
Oh, yeah.
He's coming here.
I got some good friends that live down the street. All right, we're done. See you guys tomorrow. I don't know who we have on tomorrow. The internet said Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. So Aaron tomorrow.
I don't
You never know, right?
I don't think that is the case, though.
Should I put it in my calendar?
Do not put it in the calendar.
Okay.
'Cause
Tentative?
Once it gets into Zito's calendar,
It's
Official.
Done deal.
a fish.
yeah.
Who else? We got Greg Olson this week, I think.
Also Thursday.
Oh, G-Rag.
He's on
Ooh,
Thursday.
might get that new big gig at Fox.
Is he? We should ask him about that. He's starting a podcast, I guess.
He's up for it. I read.
Sean Payton also up for it, right? Especially after the Herb Street takes the Amazon gig.
Yeah. I wonder
Oh, is he?
Congrats to Herbie, by the way.
Baby Herbie.
Did Herbie take it?
I don't know. Reports are yes.
That he's going to be doing Thursday night NFL games for Amazon?
Bingo.
And still do ESPN?
That is the initial reports, yes, via Ari Mirov at My Sports Update, via Peter King, who always has his ear to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And once again, Al Michaels sitting pretty because now it's basically a bidding war for him.
Yeah, Al Michaels hasn't been locked in yet, right?
Nope.
He and Kirk together would be awesome.
Him and Troy
Him and
together.
Troy on Monday Night Football.
Anywhere, Al's in a great spot. and he
Exactly.
deserves it.
Al's been sitting back to, I heard you gave McVay a $20 million offer. Oh, Troy's got 17 and a half. Al's waiting there. Let's see what Kirk gets here. Oh, 15. Okay. All right, so I'm looking for 25 million.
Yeah. Fucking 30.
Al Michaels, this guy. 50 years after calling his first World Series for the Cincinnati Reds, he's maybe getting the biggest contract he's ever. More money in this contract probably than he did in his first 10 contracts.
Yeah, for
And he deserves every single dollar, by the way, Al Michaels.
He's awesome. But didn't you see the video where Eminem is fanboying out over Al Michaels at the Super Bowl?
Yes, and that's real, by the way. Al Michaels is like that with everybody, I assume. Now, he has figured out a way to be the voice of all the biggest moments in most teams' histories and still be liked. Commentators normally not like naturally because they are the soundtrack to your biggest loss for the team that you love. At some point, they're going to have to say something bad and be associated with a terrible moment in your team's history. The team that you love, the team that you root for, something probably bad is going to happen over the course of a commentator's career in which they are the voice of, and you naturally just automatically attach them to that. I hate this person. Now, Al Michaels has somehow remained the coolest motherfucker of all time through it all. He's the man.
That everybody loves. Like, there isn't, like, Joe Buck comes to mind. He gets so much hate because he is the voice of, so many people's teams losing, but everyone, no matter what, stands by Al Michaels. It's electric.
We have some big news coming out of the NFL right now. Tom Pelissero is reporting that the NFL is suspending Falcons wide receiver Calvin Ridley indefinitely for at least the 2022 season for gambling on NFL games after he left the team last season. Holy hell. This is massive. In the world with sports gambling growing and blossoming, we knew that there was going to be some moments in time where it was going to be talked about and conversated about. When I went into the NFL, when AJ went into the NFL, or even college, there was signs all over the wall that basically said, don't be Pete Rose. It's not worth it. Do not gamble with your legacy, your career in sports gambling. Don't do it. Calvin Ridley now, at least out for the 2022 season. Who knows how much further that's going to be. I guess they'll have to dive into the weeds on how much money or who he was betting on and how he was betting on. He was away from the team. I don't think that's been disclosed publicly, although there has been some rumors behind the scenes that there was some stuff going on personally for Calvin Ridley, and it was excused by the Falcons. This is a bomb from Tom Pelissero. Hopefully, Calvin Ridley doesn't have a gambling issue. Hopefully, Calvin Ridley doesn't have anything else going on in his life, but this is a bad look for Calvin Ridley, and I assume the NFL is going to make an example out of this as the sports gambling world continues to evolve.
Well, so he gambled on NFL games when he was already on a leave of absence from the team. This is what got Pete Rose blackballed from all of baseball, right? It's the reason why they won't let him into the Hall of Fame still.
Well, allegedly Pete Rose was gambling on games that he was managing, like the actual games. Yeah. And people don't care about the details.
It has to be pretty big too. If he's getting busted for this, it has to be was it just on some website? Was it with bookies? Like, how does it work? It had to be a substantial amount of money too, I would imagine, for them to do this.
Quick research. Where's Calvin Ridley from? Can we look into that?
Played in Alabama.
Is it a legal state? Yeah, and he's in Georgia. I don't think either of those states are legal, so I'm not 100% sure if this is
Florida.
on a... Florida's not legal either, no. So he was probably with a bookie maybe. And by the way, if it's with a bookie, this is so much worse because there's no regulations. Yeah. Who knows how big it... it is just... Not that this isn't already bad. This is bad. Can't have people betting on things that they're involved with. Now, Calvin Ridley's not on the team, so that's probably will be his defense. I'm not playing. I'm here. But there are so many meetings that happen throughout the season where you're not even allowed to go to a casino and get a free room from gambling on blackjack in the NFL. The NFL for a long time has tried its absolute best to separate from gambling because the shield's integrity needs to be kept intact. That is always what we were pitched in all of those meetings. I never gambled on games or sports or anything like that when I was in the league. I had friends that did it. I didn't know anything about it. Loved blackjack though. Mm-hmm. Man, I love poker, love blackjack, and those are always my questions. So you're telling me if I go to a place in Vegas and I win a bunch of money on the blackjack table and they're like, hey, you get a free penthouse. They're like, you can't take that because it's from gambling. I'm allowed to play blackjack, but not allowed to receive any of the extra benefits that gambling could potentially bring. Now with the whole regulations and gambling coming in there, this could get messy as everybody's fear. Hopefully that's not the case. There's some more notes Zito says coming out about this. Falcons Calvin Ridley suspended through at least the 2022 seasons for betting on NFL games in 2021 season. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell today suspended Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons definitely through at least the conclusion of the 22 season for betting on NFL games in 21 season. The activity took place during a 5-day period in late November 2021 while Ridley was not with the team and was away from the club club's facility with non-football illness list. A league investigation uncovered no evidence indicating any inside information was used or that any game was compromised in any way, nor was there evidence suggesting any awareness by coaches, staff, teammates, or anybody else. In a letter to Ridley notifying him of his suspension, Commissioner Goodell wrote, "There is nothing more fundamental to the NFL's success and to the reputation of everyone associated with our league than upholding the integrity of the game. This is the responsibility of every player, coach, owner, game official, and anyone also employed in the league. Your actions put the integrity of the game at risk, threaten to damage public confidence in professional football, and potentially undermine the reputations of your fellow players throughout the NFL. For decades, gambling on NFL games has been considered among most significant violations of league policy, warranting the most substantial sanction. In your case, I acknowledge and commend you for your promptly reporting for an interview and for admitting your actions." Ridley may petition for reinstatement on or after February 15, 2023. Pursuant to the NFL-NFLPA collective bargaining agreement, he may appeal his suspension by filing notice within 3 days. A 5-day period. He was probably, around a bookie in a group that was betting on something, and the bookie got caught, and then the bookie ratted, or somebody in the group got in over their head, or something like that. I don't understand how that could have happened or taken place, but that is something the NFL has been very, very, very diligent on. Since I was in the league, since AJ was in the league, since long before, they knew that it happened, and it's not something they want with their league. Now, FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, all NFL sponsors. That does not mean that the players, coaches, or anybody associated with the NFL is allowed to gamble on it. It just comes with the job. It's a sad situation. Hopefully, everything's okay. But that's a bomb to come on a Monday out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's still on his rookie deal.
I learned from my L's.
That was from yesterday.
Says Calvin Ridley, 3:34 p.m., March 6, 2022. Does that mean gambling? No. He means
No.
Life.
Bigger.
Maybe. He
And what if
admitted,
he's great?
it says in the letter, though, that shows at least his path to being reinstated when Goodell said, I commend you for reporting for the interview promptly and admitting what you did. So that way you say, all right, I see a path where they'll let him back in.
What if he won so much that the bookie was like, this fucking guy isn't even allowed to be gambling?
Yeah.
What if
he turned himself in? What if he won so much the bookie couldn't pay him, so he turned him in?
That's what, maybe. You have no idea. And also, most bookies that are working with some sort of organized crime, That's why, FanDuel is so awesome because you feel like, you're safe. You're going to get your money in an efficient fashion and, all that other stuff. That's scary, though. That's very scary stuff. Hopefully, Calvin Ridley's all right. Hope he's okay. But they're not going to be light on this.
No.
That ain't something they're going to back off. The NFL is not going to back off of this because of what he said about the integrity of the shield. It's been something they pitched for a long time. There's numerous meetings that are like, nah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You fuck everybody over.
Not worth it. It's not worth it.
Do they keep his rights? Do the Falcons keep, because he's going into his last year of his rookie deal, so does he get cut from the Falcons, or
he'd probably go on the exemption list, I assume, and he loses.
It's got to be some exemption list, non-football exempt or something, right?
And he loses a salary of $11 million next year, I guess.
Last year.
Man. All right. We'll learn from this. Hope every player and coach learns from this. It sucks that Calvin Ridley is going to be the example, but that's just the way it is. And hopefully everybody else will understand that if you get the pleasure and the honor of representing the NFL, there are some things you can't do. For instance, you can't get drunk on a Tuesday and get arrested. You will get suspended, okay? There are other things you can't do, like gamble on games or give information to people to gamble on games. And that has been something that has been very well known since the beginning of the NFL, basically.
You think you want to come on Hammer Dahn?
I don't think know if Hammer Dahn is the right. What if we hire him for the year?
Oh,
God. All right, dude, you're now the new host of Hammer Dahn. Calvin Ridley. Because Pete Rose has become like a handicapper, right? He moved to Vegas. He's like, yeah, I love gambling. I'm good at it too. Fuck. The thing that none of the reports, Pete Rose said, none of the reports say I was winning. Well, I was winning these bets. That's not normal either. How come nobody gives me any credit? I wonder who Calvin bet on.
Good question. Would love to know.
Someone snitched on him. That's how everyone gets caught.
They were playing Jacksonville.
Well,
and Atlanta won, so maybe that.
But he said he wasn't betting on
Atlanta, did they?
Yeah, I think they said that nobody was compromised on. I don't think they said anybody was compromised. Who knows if he was betting on his team, though?
Yeah, we don't know.
What if he was betting on Ohio State against Michigan?
That's not NFL.
It's bet on NFL.
Oh, NFL game.
The issue is the NFL games.
5-day period?
Yeah, it must have been on like a little bit of a bender, a little bit of a run. Had a friend around that was a bookie. Probably talked him into it, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe he lost a bunch, and he was like, fuck it. I never bet. I'm not paying you. And then the bookie was
Did he
like,
turn over his
okay.
phone and let him check text messages and stuff?
By the way, I don't think bookies, if you don't pay, they turn you into the cops. I think they
break your legs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something had
Tony
to.
Harding.
Somebody had to have gotten caught. I think Bookie got caught.
I think it would make more sense if he won a shitload of money and this guy was like, oh, okay, well, I can't pay this guy, and I know he's not supposed to be betting, so
I'll just roll over and die here.
Right.
Yeah, I'm running a legal operation, but this motherfucker's doing something he's not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I guess. You think we'll ever find out what happened?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll learn more about this. I don't know how much, like exactly details, but yeah, we'll learn more. I bet.
Hope Calvin's okay, man.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Jack Doyle. It is also breaking news. Jack Doyle, tight end for the Indianapolis Colts of Western Kentucky fame, has retired.
Wow.
Jack Doyle here in Indianapolis, legend, went to high school here, went to college at a small school. I think he was picked up by the Titans, then they released him, then we picked him up in free agency. He came in, put his head down, and just went to work. Beloved by everybody in the Colts building, everybody in Indianapolis, has done nothing but better everywhere he has ever been. I love Jack Doyle. He was my left wing on my punt team. That's how he got his start in the NFL. He was nothing but a grinder, took care of me. And then he got more and more prominent in the offense, still had to play special teams, grew an incredible beard. He's a stud. I love that dude. Congrats on a hell of a career, Jackie.
Yeah, baby Jack.
Western Kentucky, I believe, was the college he went to. I was a fan of his back then, watching him in college play.
Hell of just a grinder. Like I think he probably ran a slow 40 if they timed it, but he was
one of those foxhole guys, right?
Yes.
You have to be in a foxhole with somebody, you're going to take old Jack Doyle.
whatever. Yes, leader, hard worker, lunch pail guy, first one in, last one out, all those things. Jack Doyle, absolute legend here in Indianapolis. Congrats on a hell of a career, Jack Doyle. Now you can officially gamble on sports, which is
good luck.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll do well. He knows a lot about football. That dude knows. He has a very high football IQ. I'll be excited to see what he does next. All right, we're back tomorrow. Hammer Dahn is in 15 minutes. What if Calvin saw your guys' show and was like, oh, these are winners?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, it's coming out from Siliana that it was parlays. He was betting on parlays, which professional bettors will tell you that parlays will always get you in the end.
All right, we're back tomorrow. See you then. AJ, thank you, pal.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, your
Big
shirt,
show tomorrow.
Your shirt's awesome.
Oh, yeah, a couple dogs on here.
Those your dogs?
It's a place, it says Working Dogs, I believe, on here from a kennel where I had one of my dogs for a little bit. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, it's a cool shirt, dude. You look cool.
Cool shirt.
Thanks.
All right, see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye.